90% of the time I'm zoning out.
Hmm.
There's sometimes when I listen back to the podcast and I'm like, oh, that's what they were saying. And I'm like, oh, you can tell that I wasn't paying attention to anything
Yeah.
that they were saying.
Should.
Commence the tickling.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome in everybody to episode 20.
Wow.
God, can you guys believe we've done this fucking 20 times?
20
Yeah,
episodes.
21 if you count the one of just me and Dex before we made it official, but I don't count that. So
Yo, you and me made it official?
if
That's
we
so
made it
cute.
official. Yeah, we locked
You're
it
going
down,
steady now.
put the ring on it. Yeah.
Update my Facebook profile.
I can't believe we've done this 20 times. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
Wow, that
that's
time
a
flies.
lot.
yeah,
We're gonna be at 100 before you know it. We're 20% away. We're actually.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, it's like almost the same pace as like making a prime weapon. So like,
Oh yeah.
imagine that you're working on your prime and you're at like 800,000 gallimaufry now, or 150,000 gallimaufry, or wait, sorry, 1.5 million.
I feel like I've made
Quickly.
2 or 3 primes since we started this. But
Oh, la-di-da.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how accurate the I guess it depends on how fast you're. Anyway, if we make it to 100 episodes, I'm gonna be really sad because it's gonna be like a wake up call for me, and it's gonna be like, what am I doing with my life if I'm spending X amount of hours
Spending your time with good friends and great company?
every
Yeah. What
week
are you doing with your life?
I mean,
talking?
weekly,
Oh my God.
that's 2 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to be yapping about Final Fantasy 11.
Mm-hmm.
No, if Heghmoh has his way, this won't be a Final Fantasy 11 podcast going forward.
That's true.
soon.
By the 50th episode, we'll have pivoted into talking about nonsense. It'll just be 2 hours of like absolute nothing related to 11, and then we'll say like something obscure related to 11 at the end.
Okay.
And that's how we categorize it.
Right.
There's a reason why I like to like do the email thing, because it's like it sets the seed for chaos.
Yeah, I can see that. I feel like we mostly talk about nonsense already, though. Right?
True.
Like we've said some really outrageous and just straight up wrong stuff on this podcast before. And
Whoa!
Like not just factually wrong, like morally wrong.
Yeah, very true. Absolutely.
It's in our opinion.
In our opinion, that's very true. What have you guys been up to this week? Dex, how's your week been?
I worked an early shift. I didn't sleep well. I saw 2 movies.
Oh, what movies did you go see?
I saw the Chainsaw Man movie, which was fantastic, and I saw the new Predator Badlands movie, which was good, but you know, I think it tried to be too comedic and silly. It wasn't like older Predator movies, but it still had a lot of action. They got away with a PG-13 rating because they don't kill any humans; they just kill.
Oh, nice.
Synths and monsters.
Oh, right. They made them like robots. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So there's no red blood.
That's cool. So Chainsaw Man, really good though?
Oh, I would recommend it. If you don't watch that anime, you should watch it and then go watch the movie. The movie was like really good.
That's cool.
You missed out by not shelling out $10.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to see Chainsaw Man, but I don't know if I want to go see it in theaters. I don't know if I want to see it bad enough that I'll go see it in theaters. But I'm considering it. Heghmoh, how's your week been, buddy? What have you been up to?
I don't know. It's one of the like I was thinking about yesterday because yesterday we had like our usual Friday activities where we did pizza time and all the other stuff, and I was like, it's been a week since Halloween, but it feels like it's been 3 months since Halloween. But it also, like I feel like I might have gone into some sort of time warp where time meant nothing and I have no memory of what I did, but I also feel like I did too much. One of those weeks.
Yeah, we went to the grocery store the day after Halloween and there was Christmas stuff. going.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
just
crazy.
like as a side note, have you guys noticed that Halloween candy like the day after Halloween used to be like 50% off, and now
Yeah.
it's like 5 cents off, and it's pissing me
Oh,
off.
they
Like
caught
the
on.
They
They
yeah,
caught on.
all the
figured it
deals are
out.
gone. Yeah, it's crazy.
Heghmoh, do you wanna do Rocky Horror and do the time warp again?
uh I don't know. I think I'd just like normal stability, to be
Hmm.
honest. But
Hmm.
um, I've been playing Blue Mage in 11. Finally broke down and started unlocking spells and mastering Blue Mage. Getting a little bit of work done, and mostly just really. I mean, if this could act as a segue into the actual podcast, really spent a lot of the week really excited about some of the things that are coming out in Final Fantasy 11.
Oh yeah,
Brown
yeah, we got big news this week.
Yeah.
That's super exciting.
Oh boy, big news.
Yeah, that's
Mhm, mhm.
actually going to be the topic of the day is the November updates and upcoming stuff. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, November is the 11th month, so that means Final Fantasy 11 generally receives a slightly larger update than normal other months. Plus, we had a lot of really cool announcements that we get to look forward to.
Absolutely. I like how you delivered that. It almost felt like, for those of you that aren't familiar with the months in the year,
Yeah,
November is the 11th one.
yeah, you never
Yeah.
know.
No
Yeah.
Yeah.
matter how you interpret it, like, for those of you who aren't familiar with what Final Fantasy 11 is, like, thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I don't think like if I was a returning player or like a newer player, I would have no idea that they did something special for November
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah, I
So,
think that's fair. I think that,
yeah.
like, not many people realize that, they recognize it.
Hmm.
So it is cool that every year during November they do something kind of special,
Yeah,
which is
so
which is
so
Oh,
super
you're
cool.
let him
welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
And that's why, yeah, that's why Final Fantasy 14 doesn't have a big thing, because
Hmm.
they ran out of months, unfortunately. So they
Yeah,
just didn't do any.
they did
Yeah.
that intentionally. They were like, we can't keep doing this, guys. This is financially
Well, they could
destroying
do a
us.
special thing on the 1st month of the year and the 4th month of the year.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. That's a great point. So this week I finished my Caliburnus, my stage
Oh,
4
nice.
Caliburnus.
I did.
Hell yeah.
Stage
Um,
not
I'm
purple.
I'm finally living my dream of uh doing Imperator and Limbus. It's
We're
amazing.
gonna cut
Yep.
this part out of the episode that gets uploaded.
How's it been?
And
How does Imperador feel for you?
so here's the thing, right? Um, as soon as I made the Caliburnus and started doing Imperator, it was strictly because I wanted to do stupid stuff in Limbus. And I was like saying that stupid joke about how Paladin main healer is the like
Yeah.
new Limbus meta, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as I made Caliburnus, I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I consider making Spalarisos and healing the party with
Mm,
Beastmaster?
yeah.
Because
That's a good point.
Beastmaster gets Pondering Peter. And Pondering Peter, for those of you who aren't familiar with Beastmaster, is a monster. He's probably the best healer in the game. Definitely better than like Monbro or any other NPC healer.
Really?
Oh, definitely.
I
He
didn't know that.
Pondering Peter gets Wild Carrot, which is basically just like Kiraga 4. And
Nice.
he's just really cool. So
Why don't you mention
now
that?
what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw my Caliburnus away.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
gonna I'm gonna work on getting my Spellarisos. I think
Like,
that's
So
I
the
the
detect
meta
logical.
is
hints of
over.
sarcasm right now,
Mhm.
but we've been talking about doing beasts instead of paladin for Sword 9 boss.
Beast instead of
That's
Paladin for
awesome.
Swordy 9 boss.
That
Why?
is extremely cool. I
For
don't
the
ask
exact
why.
reasons you just said.
for for the rabbit. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I honestly think that Blitz is an extremely good weapon skill.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you were to throw in, and I don't if you're throwing in like a um corrosive ooze or whatever into some sortie strats, I think that could go a long way. And yeah, I think it's a cool idea.
Hmm. Yeah. I do think Beast would be a cool like substitute healer for Limbus. So that's gonna be my next goal, and I'm just gonna say that that is probably gonna be the new meta. 'Cause
I
as you
mean,
guys
I've
know,
done
all I do is go
yeah,
around finding new
finding
alternative meta
metas,
methods,
yeah.
yeah, for Limbus specifically and nothing else.
Mhm, yeah.
Mhm,
I do think, I mean, I've done a lot of Beastmaster in Limbus just for fun,
mhm.
because it in Limbus, doing Spalariso sub Kraken Club just is very little that feels as satisfying.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, for
yeah,
sure. I
and
think
I
that'd be
think it's
great.
a really fun job, and you
Mhm,
get to dual wield. You have an axe in one hand and a Kraken club in the other hand, so that's like peak Final Fantasy 11 experience to begin with.
oh, absolutely.
Um, and yeah, I mean, then you're getting your Limbus stuff done. You have a pet with you, which
Mhm.
is you're a Beastmaster. I don't know, it doesn't get much better.
Heghmoh, what do you recommend for those Beastmasters that maybe don't have a Kraken Club?
Um, Save
Get
your
a
go up?
job.
No.
Get a job, save you. Damn, that's
No,
brutal.
I mean, I think that there's some good offhands.
Mhm,
I mean, even like Ikenga's axe isn't terrible as an offhand with the weapon skill damage on it and stuff.
yeah,
Um, yeah, the thing is that the reason why Kraken Club feels so good on Beastmaster is because Beastmaster notoriously is just very slow. It's really hard to build TP
yeah.
on Beast when you're dual wielding or in general because it's like kind of weighted to coordinate with the pet, and so I think it's intentionally slower. But Kraken Club solves that, and it just
Mhm.
makes you build TP ridiculously fast.
Okay, that's cool. So we have a few emails before we
Mhm,
get into our topic of the day. Dex, do you want to
mhm.
start us off on the emails?
Sure. From Gen G. Hello, all. Really enjoy the pod, and the email section of it is always fun. To date, I've sent 2 emails that have hopefully that yeah, I lost my train of thought. We definitely have read this. You said we didn't, but we definitely did. To date, I've sent 2 emails and have listened, hopefully that my email could potentially be read, only to realize that I forgot the I at the end of the email address, so that this is a fresh attempt for you guys to read.
Yeah,
I
we
was wondering if an episode devoted to discussing the trust system and alter egos would be something that we could happen. See,
mhm.
this is why I
Hmm.
definitely think this is read already.
No,
No,
we
I
have
don't
not
think
read this.
we haven't read this one.
Nope.
I haven't
Are
heard
you
this before.
sure?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy because we had this big discussion about
We
it.
talked about the trust system in private. We talked about it, but we haven't read the email.
Like, I talked extensively about this with Shiraj in DMs.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically detailing which trusts are useful for specific situations of fights, niche trust roles and setups, hidden tips and tricks, and of course the popular tier list could be fun, question mark. I know some players feel the trusts have detracted from the certain aspects of the game, but I for one love that they're an option. Looking forward to the next episode. Really love the pod. Well, spoilers, Gen G, that is something I wouldn't mind talking about. Um
And it could also be something that's increasingly relevant as
yeah, if you
trusts
listen to
are
today's
perhaps soon getting
episode,
adjusted.
there is something down the pipeline coming up that's going to change that whole thing entirely, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If we were to talk in depth about trusts, I would say we should probably wait a little bit longer, given the fresh news. But overall, what are some like major trusts that you guys use when you're out soloing? Like I'm soloing right now, and I gotta say Sylvie is probably one of my favorite trusts.
I think if you're not a Sylvie like fiend, I think once you reach a certain point in endgame, it's nice to have extra buffs and you don't really need the heals or
Mhm.
the support as much and you can switch to Sylvie. But Yorn Orin's crazy, right?
Yeah, Yorn Orin is quite good.
I
Probably
always
He's
liked
better
a
than Apuru.
Pururu.
See, I like Yorn more because Yorn has better MP management, where Apuru
I see.
tends to spam Kiragas and train all over MP.
I feel like Yorin Orin has infinity MP,
Yeah.
and he just never stops healing you. It's
Mhm.
insane how he just and
Nice.
Yorin Orin of all the trusts seems to have, like, the highest Meva. He'll just tank shit.
Mm. You know what I have been seeing a lot of lately is there's one particular person that I know that has been continuously complaining about no Cornelia in a while. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe maybe if Square is feeling generous, they could
Good
toss
news,
us.
if you didn't
Well,
hear,
if I think we might talk about a little bit in the upcoming updates. There might be some Cornelia coming back.
Oh,
Everything's a
that's great because
segue.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
it's part of Annabelle.
yeah.
But
That's
we'll be talking about
fantastic.
other things.
But
I
what are
think
some
Ignis
other?
and Umbro are both nuts.
Mhm.
Once you get them, it's like a big jump in trust power.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
both provide different things that are really powerful.
Mhm.
Um, Kaltada, Koromoru, King, Arcila, Joaquim.
Joaquim and Olmia are
Mhm.
both fairly good.
I think basically with trust for most players, because they fall behind in power level quickly after the leveling experience,
Yeah.
all the DD ones and all the mage ones kind of just stop being used entirely,
Yeah,
and you solely focus on like maybe one tank, maybe two healers or one healer, and then the rest are all supports.
yeah.
Mhm.
When you're leveling up, like if you're not at level cap doing solo trust stuff for HTMBs and stuff like that, Shentoto 2 is
Yes,
busted.
Ayame is
Absolutely
great.
busted, but
Mhm. I
yeah.
thought you were gonna talk about Valinerol, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're early levels,
Are
yeah,
nuts.
Linerel is
It's your
like
number one
just
guy.
AoE one shot everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, the first couple levels are just like everything's dead the moment it touches his blade.
Like to the degree that sometimes when people are coming back to the game, I almost am like I caution them to not use Velanerel for for the beginning of the game because it's like it will ruin the leveling experience. If you want
Yeah.
like to fight anything, maybe avoid using Velanerel.
I'd
Yeah.
say in later game when you're fighting like big stuff,
Mhm.
the best tanks are the ones that can survive longer. So like EV,
Yeah,
HM, August.
Amuchuchu's pretty good too.
Yamchuchu is clutch for certain things, but
Mhm.
she tends to die to physical hits really hard. Like
Mm.
she's
Yeah.
good for Lilith because she'll sit in the gyves and do fine. There's a few fights.
Mhm.
Most of the other tanks are poopy though. Trying to think if there's any niche ones. Celtius is kind of niche.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Celtius
I
is
always
really
see
great.
you always see Celtius out at like domain invasion dragons
Mhm.
for some reason. I'm not sure what
He
he
does like strong TP based AoE heals and recovery
Mm,
moves.
Yeah, he's good for if I remember correctly, he's good for recovering MP for the White Mage trusts.
I feel like
oh nice.
Celsius is kind of Monbaro light,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Um, Lilith 2 is great for domain invasion. She puts up the crit Samba.
So if I remember correctly, Exenmeal Shadow Rain has an attack buff that he gives the party, and you can take advantage of that in domain invasion. And the reason you'll see other trusts for like domain invasion more than like the traditional loadout is because all of the buffs get AoE, so you're getting songs from other people's trusts, so you don't
Yeah,
need to pop like four different Olmios that are just going to give you the same
yeah.
stuff. So you get
Yeah,
to
I almost never
kind of
summon
play.
Kaltada for that.
Yeah, yeah. I think domain invasion is really an interesting thing because lets you take advantage of those like more niche buffs that you normally wouldn't do.
And it
Um,
really feels great when you go in with an actual bard and your songs get overwritten by a Olmias. That's a fantastic feature. I'm glad they implemented that.
If
That's why
you'd
you
like,
just
I
don't
can
go
basically
in.
another email, which is Shiraja's response to this email because I had asked him.
Oh, sure. What did Shirash have to say about it?
Uh, he said we could talk about a tier list, but we don't have to. Top trust all around: Ignis, Mombro, King of Hearts, Koromoro, Yoro Honorin, Sylvie, Valinarial, Cornelia. I'd put these in S tier for general play, 119 plus content. A tier, EV, HM, Shantoto 2, Cherukiki, Arcila 2, Joaquim Almio August. The rest are either terrible in comparison or niche weird. Um, Most trusts are trash outside of the campaign that keeps them alive.
Hmm.
Specific niches for certain trusts. HM, Utsusemi tanks most of the dangerous NMs in the game. Halfist, for example.
Hmm.
Anything
Oh,
that
that's cool.
is abused by shadows is good to use HM as a tank.
Yeah.
Valnerial provides majesty cures around 1k. Amchuchu is useful for reliance on magic-only intensive fights, Lilith and Ongo. Rahal can be used as a tank for dragon mobs because his dragon killer is decently well at proccing. He's used it to tank Koryu.
Wow, that's interesting.
Rugged Gene can be used to tank undead mobs for his Holy Circle effect. He
Mhm.
wakes everyone up with non-majesty cures. Iroha 2 can be used to multi-step solo light skill chains, provide AoE heal, MP restore, and Stone Skin pro shell everybody. Nashmiria 2 is one of the only trusts capable of using AoE cures Kiraga 4 and 5.
Okay.
Lion 1 and 2 have native TH, which is kind of useless nowadays.
Mm.
Celtius is one of the few AoE, HP, and MP restoring TP moves. Would be good. Would be put in A or S tier if his main heals weren't tied to his TP moves.
Hmm.
That's why I think he's kind of like Mombro light. Mombro does throw ethers and shit at people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Archangel
Bombro is decent.
Tarakaro is one of the only trusts that can elemental seal Sleepka too. I know that's useful as a up and coming player as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I know a lot of those uh what are they called? Macrocosmic orbs where you get the Rem's tails.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Newer players would always use TT to Sleepka them because there's like 6 targets.
Oh, yeah. True.
Karuha Baruha is one of the only trusts with AoE bar spells. Ferris Coffin is the only trust that can raise other players.
Yeah, Ferris
Dornborn
is.
is the only trust that has a Flatus Solus for Cure Skin. Then he has a little section at the bottom. All the idle, what do you call them? Geomancy effects
Mhm.
trusts. Kupo Free gives the XP
Oh,
bonus
right,
aura.
right. Yeah.
Brigade gives ND Charisma, which is plus 10% defense and 5 magic defense bonus.
Hmm.
Cornelia gives haste and accuracy
Are we
and
just
reinforcement.
going down the list of all the trusts at this
It's,
point
it
and
seems
reading
like
what
it.
they do, or like?
No, like if you notice, outside of like maybe one instance, there's 0 melee and 0 mage discussed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
This is just like all the good ones that have like unique effects.
In
Yeah.
general, the support trusts are much stronger and more
Mhm.
helpful than the melees.
To not read them
There's
all of those like small trusts at the bottom of the list that they just sit out there, they can't die, and they
yeah,
provide a
Mhm.
static geomancy bonus. They're all
yeah.
strong and useful in
They're
their
great too for like for situational stuff too. Like if you're skilling up, if you're like just spamming, a blue magic spell or something to get your blue magic skill up, having like passive refresh and all that other stuff is sometimes really nice too.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to
Uh,
revisit trusts at a later period and see when more of this update starts coming out. See
yeah.
how they're changed. That's what I'm
I
mostly interested in.
I will say there's also just, it depends on what you're going for with your trust. I remember when I first came back to the game,
Hmm.
I was super, super excited that it just so happened to be the campaign where I could get Ovyang and Mijang, the two pup automaton trusts,
Hmm.
because I was playing Puppet Master because I just come back to the game. I was playing Pup and I was like, I can have 3 automatons out. And it didn't matter what they did. I just was excited
Oh
about
man,
the
yeah,
idea.
that'd be amazing. That's hilarious.
I figured we would get Shiraj's little input here since he's not around.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks, Jen, for the email. Really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and move on to do the next
Scode sent us
one.
some music.
No, it's we have one more before that. Um,
Neil Engel.
yes. So we have I'll go ahead and read this one real quick. It's nice and short. Give Dex a break. Firstly, thanks for putting out regular content for the game. You're welcome. Thanks Heghmoh and Dex for helping put out content.
Mhm, mhm.
Took a break for about 6 months ago, after burning out playing it alongside WoW Classic. Wow.
Nice. Oh,
I've
wow.
since started a new career and life is looking pretty good. Please convince me to come back and ruin everything I've built since I've been gone. Side
Hell
note,
yeah.
I'm a puppet master main. Thanks, guys.
Ooh.
Disregard.
Keep up the good work. So, the good news is pup will ruin your life regardless.
Yeah. It sounds
So,
like to build on the Puppet Master memes, it's like sounds like you already queued up to just make bad choices to
mhm,
begin with. So that sounds great. Good start.
yeah. I I don't know. I think it's a great time to come back, personally. I think
I do
there's
too.
only more stuff that's going to be added. I think the game is sitting in a relatively decent spot as it is, and I think it's only going to go up from here. I think, especially since this update, my take on them adding another expansion from the last episode is only aged well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very very hopeful, and I'm really excited to see what is going to happen over the next couple of months and year or so.
I can I can only say that returning players have even more things to do than ever,
Hmm.
that this game is getting wider and wider by the
Mhm.
year. Um, the only vocal complaints that you'll be hearing is from players who have done everything and are getting exhausted with the only thing that's new.
Hmm.
Everything else
Yeah.
is just, like, plenty of things to do. Um, it will take you literal years to get to the point of those people who are complaining. So,
Mhm.
Right.
by that point, there will be a lot of new things as well based on the rosy horizons that we've seen.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, like, somebody asked this the other day. They're like, what is, we're about to talk about some future prospective stuff that's coming to the game based on conversations that have been happening the past couple days even.
Hmm.
And somebody asked me, they're like, what does this mean for a new player? Like, I just started the game. I don't know what any of this means that you're talking about.
Right.
What does this mean for
Right.
me as a new player? And it's like the and I this is a returning player we're talking to, so a little bit different, but I think it's like primarily it's that you're not coming to a dead game that's at the end of its life.
Hmm.
The exciting thing is that you're coming to a game that's still receiving, developer attention, and they have plans for changing things in the future. And there could be, I think that Fujito said in their thing that they have plans.
Hmm.
Um, they're making plans for the 30th anniversary, or what
Wow.
year? They're making plans for the 25th
25th anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
Yeah,
more
and
sense.
that they don't see any interruption of service
Hmm.
at least through the 30th anniversary. Um, so like, that's a little bit like, oh no, what do you mean? What do you mean it'll go away one day? But at the same time, like the developers like intend for at least the next 8 years
Hmm.
to be still servicing the game, which is great.
Look, I played Final Fantasy 11 when I was 12 years old, and I intend to
Yeah.
keep playing it when I'm 72 years
Yeah.
old.
I do too.
That's
Yeah, I
You're
really hope
joking,
so.
I'm
Like,
not.
I mean, I hope that if nothing else, like there's some way to play this game for forever. It'd be
Mhm.
great,
In
but who
perpetuity.
knows? I mean, look, like I don't know what else I'm going to stream if
Guys, please.
when when I'm still streaming at
Yeah,
72, I need something to play, and
for sure.
I won't be able to learn new things at that point. So please help me out.
Very true.
Also, in what we're gonna discuss later, like, as a new player, it's not all like, "Here's the new endgame thing, and we're adjusting this endgame thing, and we're adding this endgame thing, and these new endgame things to chase." It's
Mhm.
also like, we're adjusting quality of life for
Hmm.
everybody. We've been improving all the quest systems for all the old stories that were really dated and frustrating. Like, they've
Yeah.
adjusted both Wings of the Goddess and Seekers of Adulan to make them
Mhm.
very friendly for new players.
Yeah.
They
Also,
continue to do so.
gear progression is being modified, so it's easier to catch up now, but it's not negating any of the work that you've done before. Like there's a lot of cool stuff for new and returning people.
New players can get to the end game in a more reasonable way now between
Yeah,
once
definitely.
4ing your gear in Limbus, getting the +3 gear is a lot easier, doing Dynamis is a lot easier,
Mhm.
doing Omen is a lot easier, getting Malignance gear is a lot easier. It's just all
Right.
these things combine into, like, you can, if you so choose, beeline it towards an end game character.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot going for it. And even as a pup, I think you can have fun. Uh,
True.
I I don't know. I think the game is
Despite
more
severely
soloable than
handicapping
ever.
yourself,
Hmm?
you can enjoy the game.
Yeah. Yes. I think the game is more solo friendly than ever, and I do think pup is one of the jobs, especially if you enjoy playing solo, that will take you the somewhat the farthest on that route. Eventually, I would recommend always diversifying jobs, but that's not because of up, that's because that's what the game encourages in general. Do you guys want to go ahead and move on to the next email?
Sure. This one's enormous.
It's pretty big, but it's all right. It's
Oh,
not. It's no. Hmm?
is
This
this
is
the
the
one
bullet
with bullet
points.
points in it?
This is
Yeah.
yeah.
This sender came into chat while I was streaming, and they asked me, they're like, "Hey, what's the email again for the Blurred podcast?" And luckily, somebody else was there to answer that question because I didn't know.
Mhm.
We were kind of joking around. They're like, "Okay, I'll try to keep it brief. I've got a few bullet points." I was like, "Oh boy, okay, here we go."
Yeah.
So
Well,
anything but.
Yeah.
that's okay. We encourage
This is
emails.
from Aldo.
Mhm.
Hey guys, longtime listener, longtime player, first time caller. Playing same character since 2007, but my slash playtime is embarrassingly low, 599 days.
Mm.
Slash playtime.
Only 599.
Comparison, mine is 1,973 days.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but you also don't
Um,
log out, so that's not a fair
yeah, a lot of
comparison.
people AFK though, so like
Yeah,
you can easily take 20% of that off.
at least.
I have a Mandau 85 and Heghmoh's the best. Well, we're done
Mm.
here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, please keep reading. Can you actually turn turn the
No, we're
volume up
on.
on this
We're
one a
done.
little bit?
We're moving
Hmm.
Going straight into the questions. Are the elemental Gorgets OBs worth getting? Are there alternatives at this point? I would say they are worth getting. Nothing provides an effect that is similar to what those do.
Yeah, I think
True.
they're
Um,
interesting.
a lot of like hardcore mages will tell you to make all the OBs and not just the combined one because the combined one counts as all elements at once and cancels certain things out.
Mm.
But the Gorgets are good for a bunch of weapon skills.
Mhm.
Um, that I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
Yeah, the Gorgets
Uh,
are unique because they're always going to be good for weapon skills that FTP transfers across hits, right?
yeah. How does Mandau fare on Bard? Asking for a friend, and not because I have
Mm.
Mandau 85. Um, it's fine.
Ooh.
Gonna be better off with Nakeling. Like strictly, Mandau is a strength modified dagger weapon skill. You're just
Mhm.
gonna do better damage with Nakeling.
Oh, really? Hmm. That's
Yeah,
odd.
Mando's pretty niche. Um, I I don't think it's gonna be bad, like especially with self skill chaining options if you're solo, but it's probably gonna fall behind some other like high end options for sure.
And Nakeling is like Bard's primary weapon, so
Yeah.
just do yourself the favor. When y'all be saying it's easy to cap DT, what specific sets do you have in mind for each job? This coming from someone who's
Ooh.
stuck in ambuscade hell for enabling only for +1 gear. I mean, that's really too much to discuss in one little quick
Yeah.
blurb.
So
Um,
some staples that we can go over.
yeah.
Sock pot is set. Empyrean plus
Mhm.
3 generally.
Yeah.
I was gonna be more
Malignance.
generic. Odyssey gear in general,
Yes.
Malignance gear,
Hmm.
um, Defending Ring and Murky Ring, Alabaster Earring, Adamantite Armor and Null Mask if you get the opportunity.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, between all that, I would say.
Yeah.
If you can get Omen Bodies, those probably mix in there somewhere.
Oh
Yeah, I would
yeah.
say, I mean, the biggest thing that's like most accessible, well, I guess it depends on like your level of play, I guess, but Empyrean plus 3 changed DT for a lot of jobs. Like a lot of
Yeah.
jobs that didn't have access to a lot of DT previously.
Yeah.
Um Empyrean plus 3 and plus 2 and plus 3 have a lot of really good pieces that are like engage DT pieces by design, which is fantastic. Like they have haste, store TP, DT. It's amazing. Um, and then yeah, Odyssey. I think like if you're talking about Bard, like Boonsy, the hat and stuff
Hmm.
are all really good for fighting.
Yeah.
Now, if the
Absolutely.
player is someone who's stuck in Ambuscade Hell, and this is everything we just said is out of their reach,
Mm,
I would say Defending Ring, Murky Ring, Alabaster Earring, Lorica Torque, the ammo, whatever it is, that's like 2 or 3%.
Mhm.
10% on the, ambuscade cape.
The staunch
Between
typhoons, the
that,
ammo.
that's like 45 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, even, like, if you can get a ambuscade cape, an alabaster and a murky, like, those are all alabaster earring, murky ring.
That's 25
Those are
right there.
all really easy to get,
Yeah.
like,
Then
pretty
35 with an
straightforward,
E-ring,
you know.
41 with the Lurkatork, 44 with the earring with the ammo. Like,
Mhm.
it adds up quick.
And, like, there
And then
again, like, going into Empyrean stuff, if you can start to get it move in that direction, like, there are Empyrean pieces that have, like, 12% DT on
yeah,
them,
12, 13
depending
most
on your
likely.
job, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they get really ridiculous actually. But
So it's not trivial to cap DT at a lower level, but
mhm.
once you start acquiring these sets, it becomes trivial very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think well, this one is kind of difficult because he did mention Bard specifically, right? I feel like
Mhm.
Bard probably has a harder time than a lot of the
No,
other jobs.
no,
Just because no?
no.
Okay, well,
Bard's head gives 10%, Bard's legs give a percent, the
your
it
TP set?
oh, and your TP set. I
Yeah,
see, I
what
didn't know you were going that way.
well, I mean, I'm just talking about like general sets that you're going to be building.
Bard gets
TP is
access to
probably
the
the most
moonlight
common.
ring, so
The Moonlight Ring, yeah. But in general, Bard is going to want things like a Shara harness, which is not trivial to get to kind
Yeah,
of make up for those gaps. Like if you're just
absolutely.
idling, then yeah, it becomes a different story. But for like actual fighting and stuff, Bard is probably going to be one of the harder jobs to cap DT on
I'll agree
in
with you
the
there.
TP set.
In a TP setting, it's very hard to cap DT on Bard,
Hmm.
but in general, like, a lot of these sets, if you're gonna be TPing and wanting to cap DT, you're usually making sacrifices with your accessories rather than your armor.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. And then I don't know, did we remember to mention ambuscade capes? Because obviously that goes a long way.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Usually
and
go
I
10
I
DT and not 5 DT all
yeah,
because
I was about to say that.
it's easier to cap, MDT by having shell.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, there are some specific instances where, like, you want the DT over the PDT, but, so I always recommend, especially for a newer player, just get the if you're playing with a white mage most of the time,
Hmm.
or you have a trust white mage, you're probably gonna overcap the MDT because it's like 37% or something MDT from a shell 5. So you need far less MDT than you need, PDT.
Hmm. Yeah. The next question I see up here, how do you engage when you pull an entire group of enemies? More often than not, you're stuck on animations before you can engage the entire group. Sometimes you end up on the floor because of it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, animation locking sucks.
yeah, that one's hard. Um, some people like to mitigate that using uh means outside of the game. But in
Mhm.
general, like it's one of those things where it is designed in the game, so you kind of just have to get used to the timing, and there are going to be times where you are punished because of that animation lock. It's not a fun
If you're
mechanic to deal
mid-pull
with.
before getting to, the spot where you mean to, like, hold them, like, if you wanna bring them to a wall, while you have distance on them, you can pull out your weapon and then, like, arrange yourself.
Hmm.
Um, you can also I had something else to say and I lost it.
It's okay.
Like one thing that I find always helps, like if this again, like if you're playing bard again, your main bard, um, just sleeping stuff. You know what I mean? Like as you're pulling, using horde lullaby and stuff like that, so that they're, you're removing the attack lock from the scenario. Or if you're pulling a big group before they catch up with you, just try to start putting horde lullabies out.
Hmm.
Can help avoid a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think pulling out the weapon before they or while they're
Mhm.
chasing you is definitely an advantage. Um, And then we got 2 more questions here. How do you feel about the Perry gloves for Rune? Should I bother getting you? The term
Terms
mittens,
Terms
absolutely.
mitts,
They're
they're
fantastic.
they're
very
really good.
strong.
Yeah. There's gonna be content where you don't use them, but for the most part, you can deal with
If you
the less DT and less defensive stats in favor of the regen from the pairing.
Rune typically can quite
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Um, and not only that, like even if you don't use them full time, if you just swap them in for Batuta,
Mhm.
you're gonna be golden.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're super strong. I would definitely pick those up as one of like probably the first pieces as a newer rune fencer.
100p.
Yeah. And then Dex, you want to read the last bit that we got there?
Given the title, my crippling addiction to up in arms finally paid off, and I actually have a deal now.
Oh,
Congratulations. Besides Rostam for core and Musa for scholar, are there
Mhm.
some major pieces to buy with Gil? This is a good time to reiterate that Heghmoh's the best.
yeah.
Why
Well,
is
let's
that a
not
good
get
time
too
to
excited
reiterate that Heghmoh's the
about the
best?
Heghmoh of it all. But
Mhm.
In general, what are good items that players should invest by when they reach early mid game, and what about late end game? Just checking. Thank you for checking out my questions. Huevos from Serb.
it's kind of hard to say
Um,
without having like a full list of the jobs that we're playing with.
I would say typically when you come into money, HQing stuff
Mhm.
becomes more reasonable.
Mhm.
Um,
I
like
mean, if I had a billion gil from an up in arms lottery win, um, rings, get 2 church rings, get 2
Mm.
moonlight rings, get 2, like get 2 stikini
Yeah,
rings,
Stikini rings. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
as an
JSE
peasant
endgame
necks.
next.
Yeah,
player, Gil
JSE
Yeah.
is not
necks.
one as an endgame player where Gil is no longer like a big factor. I remember earlier on, all the HQ rings were very expensive,
Mhm.
and they tend to be a lot stronger than their NQ variants. Um, I don't think you need a Moonlight Cape. It's not a big boon.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
I think most endgame players tend to feel that +2 necks are very worth it, and
Yeah.
they feel bad that they wasted time getting an NQ.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
would look into your specific
definitely
jobs.
+2
I
get
think a
it.
lot of the SU5s are kind of out of date, but typically JSC necks and rings and earrings are going to be the biggest gill sinks.
Yeah,
I'd
some of
say
the belts
SU
too.
gear for your
Your
job.
your yeah, or like, your what's the bard neck, the moonbow whistle,
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
necessary. That's a
all the
staple.
other stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what I
But
would
yeah,
recommend is perhaps send like a narrower list if you're looking for specific stuff. And we could probably give you more details than just like shotgunning out a bunch of generic stuff that we're doing right now.
And, I would highly recommend, I can look because we have the screenshots now,
Mhm.
right? New items coming from Amon Trove are rare, not exclusive, so they can be traded. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can be
correct.
sold
They'll
Don't
be in the
offline.
auction house.
When those get put up for a billion gil tomorrow or on Monday, don't buy those. Wait for those prices to normalize.
Oh, I'm buying them. It's too late.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah, thank you for the email.
There's a lot
Huevos from
more.
Serb. Oh shit, I forgot this. I forgot the PS part. Oh
Uh,
Oh,
man.
nice.
the PS part is like 3 times as long as those questions.
Oh, hell yeah.
um let's
PS, see below for additional information, my sob story, and extra questions. Feel free to apply to anything below offline or during the podcast if you feel you need to pad or pad time or throw shade.
I think we can take a look at this and
Yeah,
perhaps do a part 2 on the next episode since we still have
yeah.
another email to get to.
Or just
They
reply in,
discuss what they have available to
gladly.
them, their jobs,
Mhm.
and their
Nice.
journey.
So we have our last email for the day from
Oh,
Shade.
and thanks to Huevos for mentioning
Yes.
some really important stuff in that email, such as Heghmoh's the best.
Next time if we get to the second half of that email, Huevos, we're gonna have to have a little bit of a talk about that, okay? Um, but for now, we'll let it slide.
All right, this next one's from Shade. Dex asked for emails. Hello, folks. It's
Well,
always
well,
fun to
well.
listen to you guys talk about the game. Writing to ask some advice as someone who is basically a fresh 99, despite being the cap for months now. All bailed at 119 gear, not enough useful gear in general to make swapping worthwhile. Just leveling jobs I find interesting and making my way through the story. At
Mhm.
the time of writing, I just reforged my first artifact gear piece. Yes, a singular piece, not even the +1 variant.
Hell yeah,
I want to try
congrats.
Nice.
to keep this brief, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to.
That
This
seems to be the
concerns
theme.
Yeah, true. This concerns the pace of the game and what people call the mental stack. In other words, being able to keep track of everything while giving my best performance. To give some
Mm,
context, I recently have been stepping into Ambuscade with Trust just to get a feel for how endgame fights work. Very easy was nothing to write home about, but I bumped the difficulty up to easy and I started to worry. I left
mhm,
this out initially, but I was playing Dancer. I don't know if any of you guys regularly play Dancer or played the job at all, but it's an incredibly active job despite my lack of knowledge about 11,
mhm.
and I would say it's one of the busiest jobs in the game. I wouldn't
Mhm.
disagree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Very, very JA intensive,
Mhm.
lots of, maximizing your movements. You'll have
Yeah,
to
I
do, like,
often,
JAs before
I
weapon skills or stuff like
yeah,
that.
I often recommend to people that are like first time playing Final Fantasy 11 coming from modern MMOs like World of Warcraft or 14 or something more recent even that have a much like shorter GCD and you're like doing combos like Dancer's a great job to start with because
Yeah,
it feels more modern
yeah,
because there's a lot more activity and stuff to do.
yeah, I agree.
Thinking about it now, like, the original 6 jobs outside of maybe Red Mage are all very simple.
Mhm.
And then the advanced jobs are kinda, like, a little bit more, and then the jobs that came out from the expansions are all extremely complex.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely got progressively more, complicated as they came out.
Except for how people play Geomancer now, they're probably the simplest. You just put a
Yeah.
bubble out and stand there.
You mean you didn't memorize all the cardinal directions and you don't
Yeah,
run
no.
around
Nobody does
constantly?
that.
Yeah.
What? You guys are out of
Cardinal
control.
chanting.
Oh, that's terrible. Many, many things to keep track of. Anyways, I decided not to play Dancer anymore. I
Oh.
wasn't
Hmm.
particularly married to the idea of maining it,
Mhm,
but I just so happened to get the JSC neck, Etoile Gorget, from the Gobby Special Dial, and I thought maybe I could make this work. This is all to say the issue is that I find it difficult to simultaneously keep track of mechanics and read the chat log to parse information.
mm,
I'm feeling this even more simplistic jobs like Thief. I'm feeling this even on more simplistic jobs like Thief. The
okay.
game stuffs a lot of important information in the chat log, and I struggle to keep pace while my eyes keep darting around between the chat logs, buffs, debuffs, and party list macro pages, and the battle itself. I've been experimenting with font colors and chat filters to help ease the issue, and I still feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. Is there any advice you can give me? In case you were curious, the jobs I'm interested in playing are White Mage, Thief, Ranger, and Corsair. If you're wondering why White Mage is in this part of the group of damage dealers, it's because I'm a healer in 14 and I feel pretty comfortable with the role.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, thanks, Shade.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know about you guys, but personally, I never read the chat log unless it's after the fight where something went wrong.
I'm
That's
staring at the chat log.
really we play
Mhm.
very, very differently then, because I don't
Yeah,
look at the chat log at all.
I'm in the well, I'm almost always in the myth camp. Like I think
Mhm.
that 11 like in the current era, like you have to trust that everybody's just doing their stuff properly.
Yeah.
Like if you're focusing on just keeping your buffs up, doing your weapon skills on time, etc., like doing your role, you have to trust that everybody else in the party is doing their stuff.
Mhm.
Um so I usually look to the chat log mostly when I've died and I want to go
Right.
back and figure out like what the hell happened
Right.
with a few exceptions. Like, I think
TP
that
me.
there are a few exceptions like uh Glassy Thinker or
Mhm.
Ammonon, stuff like that where you're looking for an ability to react to
Right.
that would be an exception, but in general, I don't look at the chat log, but it is really hard. I can commiserate with what you're saying. It's hard to keep up with what's going on in there. Filters and colors and stuff can really help, but it's tough.
I'd say like one of the first things you can do is split your chat into 2 windows and assign 1 window for certain things and 1 window for another set of things.
Yep.
You can,
That's yep.
eliminate other party members from your chat log so that you're only seeing what you need to see. That'll
Yeah.
help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
split log is a really, really great recommendation because it like I put all my social, like all the chats in window 2, and I
mhm,
put all the like, combat stuff in window 1. For example, that helps a lot. Um, Filtering just gets really confusing, and also I feel like the filters are sometimes really confusing as to what they do.
They
But
are.
once you figure it out,
It's
it
definitely
can be
something
really
you need to
helpful.
play with.
Yeah.
yeah. I think trying to figure out what you're trying to glean out of the chat log is the biggest thing. And seeing if you
Hmm.
can get that information from anywhere besides the chat log. Like for instance, I'll use White Mage as an example. When I'm playing White Mage, I'm not looking at the chat log to see if my party's been enfeebled. I'm looking at either party buffs or I use the in-game thing that shows the icon of the status debuff under their name. So I'm like clicking on the party members. I'm just kind of like tabbing through, seeing if anybody has any debuffs going on, and I'm not looking at the chat log at all. I'm looking at the
It's
HP bar. That way I can know if anybody needs a cure. Looking at the icons to see if they need any like status removal, stuff like that.
but you're, like, glancing at the chat log, but you're mostly looking at, like, enemy animations to cue yourself to then tab onto the players to check what they've got and if they're hurt and stuff like that, right?
No, I'm not looking at the chat log at all. There's no information that I'm getting from the chat log on White Mage that I'm not getting from anywhere else.
But you're watching the animations.
The
Hmm.
I'm talking about the icons on the screen that go like when you tab on a person's name,
Yeah.
But
it
what
will
makes you decide the tab? Or are you just cycling
I just
constantly?
cycle through. It's not hard to do when like if let's use Sortie as an example, the fight's like 3 minutes long. If you're not curing, then you're already looking at the screen anyway, exactly where the party names are. So you can just kind of tab through as needed.
And you can also you can F key those. F1,
Yeah.
F2 through 6 are
Yeah.
targeting your party members.
Yeah.
I my geomancer in my sortie group
Hmm.
does never, ever looks at people's HP bars or things doesn't look at the party in the bottom right,
Hmm.
and very often has to be told that he's in yellow and questions if people are in need of a cure, and we're like, "Can't you just look at their HP bar?"
That's crazy.
What's he looking at then?
That's wild.
Is my
I
Yeah,
don't
question.
know.
what's he doing?
I don't know.
That doesn't seem like a
He's
screen
he,
issue. That seems like a
he yeah. He's got a
It's a
he put
running
his
joke.
bubbles up.
yeah,
He put his bubbles up and he's playing a different game. And he's just tabbing back and forth
yeah,
every once in a while to make sure he didn't get stuck on a corner.
yeah. So like if we put that in like the context of Dancer, the things that I would be looking for in the chat log would be like if box step wore off or something, that would be important to get from the chat log. But at the same time, if you're keeping track of your finishing moves and you're using your steps to
Mhm.
gain finishing moves, you shouldn't ever really have to worry about that kind of information.
Yeah.
So I would mostly be focused on like how many finishing moves do I have? What are where are my timers at? Like what do I have on no foot rise?
Yeah.
How much longer does Haste Samba have? That's the kind of stuff that I would be focused on for Dancer, and that's not really in the chat log.
True. Yeah, I mean, I think all in all, it's like there's a lot of complexity to it. There's a lot of confusing elements and a lot of different things to look at in general. And the honest answer is that you kind of just have to get used to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you
for
have to
sure.
figure out where the information you need is.
Mhm.
Filter what you need to filter. Somebody in chat asked about some third party stuff, which we don't necessarily condone anything that's not part of the base game, but there
Right.
are tools out there that some people opt to use. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah, I can't say that I've been paying attention to the chat at all. So again, we're not looking at the chat bar, the log. So but yeah, Shade, thank you. Did we kinda cover everything in this email? Did we miss anything?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I think really it comes down to finding a way that you prefer to play it, and if you find ways to cut out the information that you need or feel like you need, that'll kind of help your gameplay be a little bit smoother.
Would you like to read the email that came in just now?
Oh my god, we
Let's
got
go
an
ahead and
email
hold
just
that one
now.
off till next week.
We haven't had a chance to
We
pre-screen it.
we have more stuff to do. So now that we've been doing emails for an hour again today, uh,
Mhm.
guys, have you had a chance to look at the update? The
Oh my
new
god.
It
November
looks pretty
update?
cool.
November update, there's a lot of
Yeah,
cool stuff happening.
yeah.
This was actually I made a YouTube video for this just because, like, I was floored. I was like I think we knew a little bit vaguely of what they wanted to do,
Mhm.
but I was reading through it and I was like, "Holy, this is beyond what I expected them to do." There's a lot of cool stuff.
What are your initial thoughts? I guess let me pull up the page here that has the actual update from Square
Mhm.
Enix, and let's kind of go into it. So the first thing that we have here is the revisions to the Limbus reward cycle. What do you guys know about this?
They're
Uh,
adding the thing to the Temenos and Apollyon operator so that you can check in how often the chest will refresh and
Hmm.
how many days and it's gonna take and how many NMs it's gonna take.
Right.
So it's kinda like a tracker for the NMs that have been killed and how the progress is for that.
yeah.
And it's not mentioned in what you're looking at, but they kinda digested that even more in the freshly picked stream, in
Mm-hmm.
which they, finally confirmed that, when you're in, Apollyon or Temenos,
Hmm.
one of the 4 zones is randomly selected for your character to have the bonus chest, and you need to find that bonus chest, and doing the same chest over and over again will not bonus reward you.
Wow. So
Also,
do we
it
know if
said if
the bonus chest is like completely random, like for your character, or is it like
per
Yes.
player,
server
yeah,
wide? Per
They
player.
said
Okay.
per player.
it's per
Okay.
player.
That's
Each
crazy.
individual player is
Wow.
assigned a bonus chest, and you have to find it. And there's no indication.
Wow. Okay.
And I do want to
So
jump in on Shiraj's behalf.
Mhm.
I wanna put this out there. Shiraj was sharing this theory with data to back it up like a month ago, and nobody listened to him.
no,
Yeah.
no, he got this from a
Yeah,
friend of ours, a mutual
yeah,
friend, and I've been doing this for, oh, about 2 months now.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I had heard that as well, and I've been rotating through the chests. Though I can't say to what outcome. Like it doesn't I don't know if it feels
yeah,
any better than it would
So,
have otherwise.
think of it this way, um, y in the past, if you just open the same zone over and over again, you'll go unlucky for a while
yeah,
Mhm.
because, you're not opening different ones, but if you open a different one every time, at
Mhm.
worst, you'll see the 5K every 4th one.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that, like, if you were just and, like, I think that's everybody's tendency, right? That's the natural way to do it, is you start on Northwest and you go down the list, right?
Mhm. And then when
And
you're done,
so
you
if
open it right there.
yeah, and then you just open it and then you restart and you just go down the list
Right.
again. I think that's how a lot of people are doing it. So there's you had a 25% chance there of getting lucky and a 75% chance of just locking yourself out of the lucky chest the entire week because you weren't ever changing.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, I think that, that drop rate could be a lot less.
Mhm.
So that's good news. And I do think that from an NM, we kind of skimmed over it really quick. I was saying from the very beginning when they added NMs that the operator needs to tell you at least how many are up or how many have
You
been
were
killed. So
saying
that's a really welcome change as well.
Yeah.
being
Absolutely.
transparent with how things work is really important for a game like this.
Yeah.
But have they
Um,
ever been transparent about how this game works?
well, like, yes and no. It depends on what they put behind the game itself, and I'm not asking them to explain things on the back end like they did with this chest
Mhm.
situation, but, like, there should be more information available in the game.
Mm. Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
just prevents people from going out and doing, like, extra shit that isn't necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, also just like, I mean, for the people that have been doing the like intuitive way of just going through and opening chests.
Mhm.
They've been doing that for months now.
And just
Square
being
Enix
They've been
punished
getting
by
had a
rewards.
system,
yeah.
They refused to communicate it in any kind of update, and they
Mhm.
also give you no indication of it in any way, shape, or form in the game.
Correct.
So it's
Right.
like, this is where it's like, if you guys had just shared with us a little bit of information,
Mhm.
like a lot more people can have progressed a lot further, but instead they've just been grinding and probably not having a lot of fun. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, Limbus sucks enough already. So,
Mhm.
It is worth saying, that in addition to what I just said about the chess system, that,
Mhm.
if you do get the reward chest, the 5K, they said that the matter was 100% from that.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah,
But the
100% on the
matter
matter if you get the reward.
can still drop from other stuff? The other
Correct.
chests or no? Okay, cool. Well, that's
But
something
if
at
you get
least.
the 5K, it's supposed to be 100%.
Right. Yeah, I remember when the initial talk of the Limbus change was circulating. I think it was yesterday, right? And everybody thought that they were changing it to 100% drop rate with the NMs because the translation was kind of wonky. That is not what's happening, right? It is just the
No.
100%
Yeah.
chance from that. The I guess you could call it just the HQ chest, however you want
Yeah.
to call it. Cool. The next part of the login campaign or the update that we have is the login campaign renewal. And it looks like they're changing how the point system works. Do you guys know about that?
Yes.
Yeah. A little
So the first
divisive. Some people are upset about it, but,
As usual. Yeah.
the
yeah.
first 14 days, you will now receive 50 points. You will not get 500 points on your first login. On the 15th day, you will get the 500 points, and
Yeah,
every
bonus
subsequent
move to
day,
the 15th.
yeah, every subsequent day after that, you will now receive 100 points until the end of the campaign.
So the
And
first
Super
they
half of the
huge.
they used to really incentivize you to log in one time a month.
Yep.
Because
yes,
like you'd get your you'd get 1,500 carryover,
Hmm.
you'd immediately get 500 points. So you log in, you get 2,000 points if you didn't you had enough to carry over.
Hmm.
Now they're incentivizing you to log in every day for the entire month. Yeah,
yeah.
like they really want you to keep logging in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's rewarding enough in that their goal is to get people to feel rewarded for logging in daily.
Hmm.
As it is right now, we can discuss incentives and what the cost of things are because they've shifted that around heavily. But
Mhm.
overall, if you are just looking at it strictly from a points basis, you get 700 less points per month now
Mm. Okay.
because the first 14 days are 50 instead of 100. And
Yeah.
it's not like it bumps up to 200 at the later days of the month like I think it should.
Right. They're adding new stuff to the login rewards too, aren't
Yes.
they?
Yeah.
A lot of the like newer player stuff
Hmm.
has been reduced and added to like a 10 point, 50 point section.
Okay.
Um I think what was it? The red weapons from uh Banabout are
Hmm.
now 150
Yeah.
points. So it's easy
And
to get those box style weapons.
they weren't even in this is the first time they've been available outside of Vanabout as well.
They've never been
The
outside of
ethereal.
Banabout.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. And what do you guys think about the old cases coming out this month? I don't
Oh,
think that's
old
going to
case for
be
1500?
yeah, I don't think that's gonna
Yeah.
be a normal like thing it's not gonna be
They
like
s
No,
I
I
think
think
they
month,
it's
but
explicitly said that won't that it will return in the future, but it won't be every
right,
month.
right.
yeah.
So
I think that's a
Um,
huge incentive for players to hoard points and log in every
yeah.
day because most most players who don't do a lot or any sortie can now
Mhm.
get access to earrings,
yeah.
Yep.
especially twos. That's
I
enormous.
think it was very I can't imagine that they didn't think about the implication that they're creating with that.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be
Uh
doing all character slots.
Yeah. So this is something that's happened in login campaigns before with when they've done Empyrean items, when they've done a few other things.
Hmm.
Um, there are certain items that you can get from login points historically that are transferable through delivery box to same account characters. So if you got a Chloris Bud on your alt, you could send it to your main. And so when you could buy Chloris Buds from login points in certain months,
Mhm.
you could buy 3 Chloris Buds on 18 different characters and not have to farm Chloris at all. You're just done with that stage.
Yeah.
Old cases are not like that, but the earrings are. So you could create 16 alts or however many the cap is, and you could get an old case plus one. You could get 16 old cases next month in the login campaign if you want to spend $16 on alt slots.
Wow. Do you guys think that's worth it?
Yes.
That's
It
bold.
depends on where you are. It depends on how many
Yeah.
alts you're already playing for. A lot of people I know have like, already have 5 or 6 crafting mules, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's it's a min max thing. It's something that where it's like it feels intentional. I think that they're like, oh, we could boost Q4 earnings by like
Yeah.
by doing this.
So
So
it's a
get some a
trap.
little bit of cash in before the end of the month.
Right.
Make
But at
sure
the
too,
same
because it takes a
at the
while to
same
log
yeah.
Yeah, it
And
is a
yeah,
trap for sure.
imagine you have to do that every day too,
Mhm.
It
for
is a
16
chore.
characters.
Yeah.
But I think it also like it gives like the old case plus one being in the loot list at 1500 points gives new players, gives like kind of players that aren't running sortie enough
Mhm.
or at all an opportunity to get a little gamba and a reward. Um, it being same account transferable gives hardcore veteran players some little care like little like you get 16 earrings if you're really chasing plus twos or whatever like that. Who wouldn't want 16 earrings? And if
Yep.
you've got money to spend.
I just don't know if it's worth the work. So I did the extra logins when the Empyrean items were a thing. And
Hmm.
I'm sitting on 50 Glavoid shells for the Tosh Shard that I'll never
Hell yeah.
actually make. Because even with that stage done, I'm still too lazy to do it.
Yeah.
But that was worth it to me because that means now I'll never have to do Glavoid.
Yeah.
Now, old cases on the other hand, like the drop rate is so low for plus twos. I mean, I don't know. I get it. Like it's 16 old case plus ones, but I'm just not sold on the idea
I've
of
gotten plus
all of
twos
that
from
work.
3 that you get from Vanabout, so
Yeah.
Do you think the drop rate is different on
no,
these other ones that you're
I just
getting?
think it's a numbers game. The
Yeah,
more you have, the better your
Yeah.
chances.
sure.
I mean, and imagine like at the end of the month you're opening you open 16 old cases in a row, like
Hmm.
you have more chances. And I don't know, I think that the drop rates are still going to be bad, but it also is an opportunity to get something that you couldn't get before.
Right.
There was no fountain like that existed. So
Mm.
I don't know if you're really trying to get that perfect roll or something. It's 16 more gambas and it
Mm.
might be worth $16 to you. I don't know.
I guess I'll just have to decide if how bad I want the old case plus ones,
Yeah.
how bad I want my warrior plus two
I'm
area,
gonna do
which I'll
it,
never
Mhm.
get.
but I'm definitely in the minority.
Yeah.
I mean, and then by extension, I mean, hype. If we're gonna follow that train of logic, you could just level all of those 16 alts up and start running
Mhm.
sortie
Mhm. Mhm.
16 times a day,
I
and
like
you
this
could get a
idea.
bunch
Yeah.
more old case plus ones.
There's
But
there's
you know,
24 hours in a day. You only need
That's 8
4 to
hours of
sleep.
sleep.
Yeah, you don't even need
yeah,
8. Just
yeah,
I like Heghmoh's idea.
Before
This is
we,
a good way to go.
we're I think we're done with the old case. So, like,
Mhm.
before we move on, the 750 category is removed.
Oh.
The
hmm
300 categories removed.
Mhm.
There's a 5 category, 10 category, 150, 500, 1000, 1500. It seems like the 750 category, which was where they put new stuff,
Mhm.
is gonna be in the 150.
Okay.
From my understanding, it looks like 5 points is still like, access to BCNM items,
Mhm.
new player stuff, uh, most of that kind of stuff. Like, but they do have some mounts in there, which is
mm.
unique for 5 points. You can get a crab or a gubu.
The
This
Yeah.
is
Gubu
I
is
gonna
a
be
think
good
more.
mount. I'll say that. The Gubu is a really
yeah.
good mount, guys. So
It's
if you
gonna be
know
more
how
I
good
big they
think
news out
go,
there.
yeah.
I think one thing that is like for the new players, for the returning players, a
Mhm.
lot of the stuff that is for them, like a one-time purchase, a cosmetic thing that like we've gotten before, or a lot of the trusts, they did reduce the costs of those, it seems. Like they're 5 points or they're a lot more accessible.
Right, for sure.
The 10-point category seems to be almost exclusively trusts, which is really nice. You
Oh,
can
they're
for
putting all the
100
trust in 10
points,
points. That's great.
for 1 login at 50 points, you can get Koltada, uh, Koromoru, a bunch of
Yeah,
these
and
little crap.
that's
You
for
can get 5 of them.
like the first login. You log in one time, you
Mhm.
get 5 trusts out of it. Is kind of
That's
nice.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's wild.
150 seems more like cosmetics. All
Mhm,
the, Archangel coupons and Archangel weapons are behind there.
mhm.
The red weapons, Rem's tails are 150.
Which
Okay.
is a scam.
Yes, don't do that.
Don't buy your REM sales from login points.
I mean, I'm just glad that we have other ways to get Rem's tails than the,
Well, they're in
what is it?
Ambuscade now.
Yeah, no, I know. I know they're an ambuscade. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
it's nice that they've actually added those to things outside of the sparks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true.
So the next thing that we have up on the update schedule is the Orb of Radiance. The original one has been adjusted. Um, the first thing is, or I guess this one's not related to Orb of Radiance, I don't think. The sliced pole key item has been changed. They've
Yeah.
increased the visibility to help people. Do you know what mission
So
that's for?
That's to open the fence.
this is we talked about this on stream
Mhm.
and everybody was like, we had no idea this existed. It's not new.
Yeah.
They literally are just making the like points to get it, like the marks on the ground a little bit more visible.
Yeah.
And I believe it is a quest that you get this slice pole to open the gates in Jugner to traverse Jugner S. Um,
Oh.
which I think like back in the day might maybe was more on people's radar, but nowadays like you do the big loop once, you get the survival guides on
Mhm.
either side or the survival guide in Grauberg's or whatever, and then you just never go back there.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool. I mean, Jugner S does suck, and
Yeah.
getting around it does suck. So
Yeah. Anything to make that easier is great in my eyes, for sure.
my hopium on this one. There's going to be a
Mhm.
lot of hopium notes for this conversation as we
That's
go
true.
forward, I think.
Yeah.
But mine is that like, oh, getting through Wings of the Goddess areas,
Mhm.
easing that access, making it a little bit more apparent. They're adding more locust mobs to Wings of the Goddess areas.
Ooh.
Finally, that's coming in
Ooh.
the future. There's going
Yep.
to be uh, a Lavalu camp, so we got to be able to get there more easily.
Well, here's kind of a side question. Do you think Limbus is gonna eventually replace like XPing
Uh,
in
I
the
think to a
traditional
I
degree
way?
it
think
already
so.
has.
Yeah.
I think that's what Limbus kind of is
If
right
it goes
now,
to
is that it's
150,
the
I think it
replacement.
will.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you think it's worth adding more locust
I
I
mobs?
think it'd
do.
be cool
Yeah.
for diversity, for options. If they,
Mhm.
especially if they make those, they make the Beastman camps and Wings of the Goddess areas 150 mobs or something like that.
Right.
They make them higher level. Like,
Mhm.
I think it would still be worth it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just curious if the idea if is to replace XP with
Yeah.
Limbus then.
And I think more options is always nice. Like
Mhm.
I was unlocking blue spells over the past week and I had to
Right.
go to uh Promethean.
Mhm.
And I went to Promethean and I ended up staying there to do CP for a little bit longer after I had learned my spells because I was like, "Oh crap, it's nice to like be in a different area." It's
Yeah.
not like to change the scenery a little bit.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it would be nice to not be in like a cramped hallway for doing content for a little bit,
yeah,
Like either
Kolita,
Temenos or
King Emperor's Tomb, and
yeah.
Temenos,
Yep.
and always a hallway.
Yep. It's always a hallway. At least Temenos is in purple, but
true.
it's not the blinding light is probably might even be arguably worse.
My
Um
wish list for a locust camp would be a Carpenter's Landing.
that'd be cool.
Mm,
Yeah.
It's seldom gone to, and there's You can take the boat to that one spot, and it's huge, open. There's nothing there. There's no reason to go there.
Yeah, what do you even do in Carpenter's Landing besides collect Aegis? I think
That's
there's like
really
an NM that you fight there once.
There's like one mission there that
Okay.
I can't remember why you go there. There's one mission maybe in COP or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you fight like a beetle NM there or something.
Yeah.
But damn. So next, the updates we have are the typical ambuscade stuff.
You skimmed through
We
the
skipped the Orbs
orb.
Radiance. Yeah. Orbs
Yeah, that's a big
Radiance.
one too.
This is a very big one. It's funny because they announced this the day after I helped someone clear this fight.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
like,
should
where's
have,
my exemplar?
yeah, I should have been like, no, wait until the update comes and then I'll help you with it. But they're rewarding people if you know anybody that needs to do the last Orb of Radiance fight for Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. You are now going to be rewarded with exemplar points. And honestly, I think
Yeah.
this is long overdue, and I think it's a really good move.
Yeah. I think they showed this in the live stream in Freshly Picked, and it was like I think it was an individual drop. It didn't go to the treasure pool. It was like
Mhm.
straight to the player's inventory.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it was 5,250 exemplar points.
I think they
yeah,
said it was 4 to 7 or something.
yeah.
Oh, so it
Somewhere
ranges.
around
Okay,
there.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, cool. Nice.
which
Um,
isn't great, but it's not bad. I'll take it.
but I mean, for a fight that ultimately takes 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
warp out to Rice and Jima, you go in, you engage the fight, you kill it instantly. You
Yeah.
know, like uh that's not bad for the effort. And I think that honestly, I hope that they do this to more fights. I think that all the story fights should have something like this.
Mhm. I agree. They should add like 20,000 exemplar for TVR last fight.
Yeah,
I think
doing
that'd be
doing
great.
the end of TVR
Yeah.
would be another great one. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Or like even if it was one item per wing of that fight, you know, like you get the first portion, you get an item drop, and then you do the second fight, and that's a separate drop. Would be
Yeah.
nice.
That'd be great. But yeah, that's always nice to see. I hope they keep doing that stuff
They should
going
add that
forward.
to Chaos. There should be more fights that just
Yeah.
you're incentivized to help new players. Just give someone a chunky little EXP.
Mhm.
You know, I like to do that. You know, like when if people ask me, like that's one of the things that I'll usually jump on if somebody says in like show, like, oh, can anybody help with this? Just because like I know it's a big milestone. Like you get your ring, you unlock your Gallimaufry limit, you know,
Mhm.
you get if you're doing Cloud of Darkness, you get access to Omen and Dynamis Divergence. And like it's a huge milestone and it's really helpful and it's cool to be a part of that with people.
Mhm.
You know, it's a newer returning player. So I'm always down to help, but I think more so like if there's just a little incentive to for the time, you know, I think that it's a simple reward that
Oh
goes a
yeah.
long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So next up we have Ambuscade. The Progos are coming back.
Hmm. Hmm.
This isn't the frog one, is it? This is the
It is.
Pirogos. So is this just
This is the frog one,
this is
magic
just
hammer one.
the green frogs? Because I feel like there's a
Yeah.
normal frog one where you just go and like you literally just murder everything. This one,
That is so there. I think you kill normal Pierogo frogs, right? Isn't it the same fight?
I have no idea.
Have we? I've been assuming. Let's look at the
Okay.
Ambuscade archive. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember there being a blue Pirogo in that fight, but I could be wrong. Because now I'm scared that it's gonna like cast on me,
There's
and
going to be a
then
new one.
I don't think
There
it'll
is
be
only
new.
one. There's
Okay.
only one Pierogo ambuscade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That should be super easy then, right?
Mhm.
So.
This is the one that people do very often do solo puppet master
Mhm.
or just super buff in and kill it really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe.
I think that's what I've done historically is just buff and kill everything.
Hmm.
So it should be a good month if you are in need of points.
Boom.
Great. Vanabout.
Speaking of pup's really good for that too.
Yeah. Yeah. If you wanna go live out your pup dreams, now's the perfect time to come back and do that. Have you guys done Vanabout before? I haven't.
I hate
I do it every
Vanabout.
time.
You do it every
I
time.
hate Vanabout with a
But
passion.
have you
I
done it?
refuse to do it. I have done like a few objectives by accident.
Okay.
I went and so everybody was like, "Oh, just do ballista. You get so many points for doing a ballista." And I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." And then
Mhm.
I realized that I needed to do a quest to unlock ballista, and I was like, "Never mind. I'm not going to do that."
Yeah.
So I think that in the past, granted, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it implemented. They've said a lot of things about how they're changing it. I
Mhm.
think Vanabout is an interesting concept, but they've implemented it extremely poorly, and it's super cumbersome to do. That's my
Okay.
take on previous Vanabouts.
Okay. What's your take on previous decks?
Vanabout was the worst it's ever been the first time it came out, and
Mhm.
since has gotten marginally, very slightly better every time.
Okay.
It's still a chore. It's always been a chore. I think the chore itself is getting a lot more convenient now that you can cancel things you
Mhm.
don't want
Mhm.
and kinda just play as you would normally and still get rewards.
Yeah, it
If
seems
you want
like
a
they
hard
kinda completely overhauled it, didn't they?
yes and no. I think there's still gonna be more of the same. It's just there's gonna be more flexibility to what you choose to do to cap out per day.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Um,
So what
I was
is
gonna say that
go ahead.
the Vanabout thing, uh damn, I lost my train of thought. I'm, like, reading 3 conversations. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, so what exactly did they change for this time? You can circulate through the daily objectives, so you can, if you don't like one, you can cancel it and potentially do a different one. What else did they change? I'm not
Well,
super familiar with
we
Vanabout.
don't know what the objectives are, but they had said that there was intent to make them more
Mhm.
Yeah,
guided
they're
towards
changing
activities.
changing the objectives, adding more like clarity as to like who you need to talk to and where you need to go.
Mhm.
um, and a few other things. I think that like my hope here is that, and what I've said all along is that I really hope that they add some objectives at least that cater to. So my core problem with Vanabout
Mhm.
is that I'm expected to do an hour of sortie every day, 30 minutes of Odyssey segment farming, 3 hours of Limbus, the Dynamis Divergence run. And so like I don't have time to go cook Galkin sausage. You know what I mean? Like I just there's not
You
there's
better
too many
make
other
time,
things that I
buddy.
have to do.
Yeah.
And so like I would love for them to add objectives that are like part of the track of content that I already have to do anyway.
Mhm.
That would be great. But in the past it has been a lot of stuff that's like fish on the ferry from Selbina to Mahara and all that kind
Mhm.
of stuff.
Right.
Um, and things that like the I feel like the philosophy behind Vanabout has been to revitalize content that isn't actively used as much anymore.
Mhm.
But I think it was a little bit too obscure in what they were including in that list.
Right. For sure. Cool. But it looks like they are working on making it better. If you if you could just pick a Vanabout and like pick the objectives of stuff that you would get points for, what would you like to see in it?
Less or none of these level capped instances in BCNMs that they've been forcing us to do constantly. It's been
Mhm.
horrible.
Okay.
I would like to see like stuff that feels relevant. That like
Mhm.
I'm not like doing something just for the sake of Vanabout. Like take the things that people are requesting help for. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like give me an objective to go farm some tokens in Isle Isle or do Einar Yar. Stuff that is like still relevant to something so that I'm at least getting a currency that I might use towards a mythic. I'm helping another player out,
Mm.
and not just doing something that's obscure for the sake of its obscurity.
Okay. So
And
you
then throw
wouldn't
in a
like to
sortie,
see
you know,
monstrosity in there, is what you're saying.
no,
Okay.
no monstrosity. And like dream scenario, this might be asking too much, but again, like I would love to see like, a track for the players that are doing all the end game content to participate in this without having to like put all this extra side work in, where it's
Mm.
like kill X sortie bosses, do Odyssey segment, like X Odyssey segments obtained, like something that's relevant to the content that we're already doing.
Sure. That makes sense. Cool.
I just don't want them to do, like, dumb content like Heghmoh's saying. Make
Yeah.
us do the stuff we were gonna do, like, if it's all optional, put a Dyna-D objective in there, put a Sortie objective in there, put an
Mhm.
Odyssey objective in there.
Right.
Like, if you make it diverse enough that people can choose whatever they wanna do, they can kinda do the activities they were gonna do, and maybe do them slightly differently than they normally would, like, with the ambuscade, it's like, do fire damage, and it's like, "Okay, I can do a little thing on the side while I'm doing the thing I was gonna do anyway."
Right, right. For sure. Do you guys want to add anything else to the Vanabout changes? You're clicking really hard
Not
today,
much, no.
Dex.
Sorry.
Um, uh, okay, so next we have the Amon Trove.
Ooh,
Nice.
these are cool
And
changes.
there's a
The
lot
good
of
Yeah,
stuff.
stuff changing in Amon Trove. What do you guys know
yeah.
about this?
Oh boy, they're adding they're supposedly changing the loot pools.
Hmm.
So I saw some really exciting news. I not sure if it's been verified or not, but removing job cards, removing NQ cursed items, removing dynamic shards from it.
Hmm.
So all the junk items that you get from a loud thud that just felt bad are coming out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I really
hell
hope
yeah.
that's true.
I saw they removing the pouches of, like, stones.
Hmm.
To be fair, most of that stuff is just thud, not loud thud, not or noise, not
Okay.
thud, not
Yeah.
loud thud. But
I mean, yeah, a lot of times I've gotten a loud thud and I've opened up and it's like a fucking NQ cursed item. And I'm
yeah,
just
that's
like,
been removed,
okay,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
more
cool.
yeah.
They said they're trying to better diversify how it feels to use a Venus orb versus a Mars orb.
Hmm.
I think right now there's like not enough of a feeling that you're spending more to get more. It still feels pretty bad.
Yeah, so it sounds
So
like they're
they're
adding the impossible to gauge thud. And
mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was reading that, it sounded like that was only going to be available for Venus orbs. Does that sound
Yeah,
I'm
right to
that
you
not
guys?
that
sure.
What?
I'm not. What'd you say?
I said I'm not sure. The
Yeah,
wording wasn't very clear.
yeah.
Right.
It's hard to tell if those are coupled, but that was one thing that I was thinking might be the case that like a a
Hmm.
Mars orb would now be noise through loud thud, and that a Venus orb would perhaps be like noise through impossible to gauge.
On the
Yeah.
stream,
Um,
they did a bunch of or a couple, and I think they did get the impossible to gauge thud.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I do think that it's only going to be Venus orbs. That could be wrong.
yeah,
But that's kind of the way the phrasing made me think of it.
Well,
And
based on the
mhm,
way it's all been described,
mhm.
they had said that Mars had lower drop rates anyway, but now they're gonna make Venus even higher drop
yeah,
rates, make it more distinguishable. So in my mind,
Right.
I'm not gonna use Mars orbs ever again.
yeah. I
Yeah.
would probably pivot to doing Venus orbs if that's the case as well.
Mhm.
One thing that's interesting is that like I feel like they're doubling. Like if okay, so if they're adding this impossible to gauge thud, right? Which they describe that as like that's the feeling of like, oh, I just got a crepuscular item. I just got a malignance item. Let's get out of here, you know?
Right.
Um what and at the same time though, so they're graduating a lot of the really rare stuff up to this impossible to gauge,
Mhm.
and then they're cutting all this kind of low tier reward, your cards, your so what's left in the loud thud?
That's
You
what
know
I
what I
was gonna
mean? Like,
ask.
yeah.
Is the loud thud no longer gonna be what we go for? Because before I feel
Yeah.
like it was pretty universal where you just people would say loud thud or bust, right? And
Mhm.
I don't think that's gonna be the case anymore.
Yeah, because if it's like if loud thuds are now Rice and Gema weapons and Rice
Mhm.
and Gema armor, I actually feel bad getting that. I would not want to open that.
Right.
You know, like I don't need a skin flare. I don't need whatever else, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the impossible to gauge thuds. Well, I mean we'll have to see how it goes, but I think they
Yeah.
might
We can only
be what we go
speculate.
for.
Yeah.
Right. Uh Speaking of speculating, have we confirmed that this Hoxney Ampula consumes 1,000 gil for every double attack
This
proc.
is what they said.
That's
This
what
was
they
the
said.
translation. That and in fact, I can try to find it. It was
But it's
in,
a buff that lasts the duration, and then each double attack consumes the gil.
Hikiri's, translations they were providing. There's so much in here because there's
Mhm.
so much to cover.
Let's see.
Um, man, where'd it go? Yes, so the ammo, something ammo, spend
Mhm.
1,000 gil for 1,000 double attack, all jobs. And this is the translation from what they said in Freshly Picked. Works on weapon skills, works for the duration of the enchantment, not just a single hit. You will lose 1,000 gil for every hit getting a double attack.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
obviously, it's a powerful effect with an extremely potent drawback. What jobs would you even use this on? Because
Dark
the
Knight.
one that comes to mind for me is Monk.
Dark Knight. For me.
Yeah, like well,
Yeah.
I mean, Monk is notorious. Like
Mhm.
the weapon skill damage spread that you
Mhm,
do with
mhm.
like Raging Fists and stuff like that. All of what Monk's weapon skills, for the most part, benefit extremely
From
from
multi-hit.
multi hit. So
Right.
like,
And they can
if
wear a
you can
lot of
just
pink
pop,
attack or short
yeah,
GP gear and not wear a lot of double attack, so
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dark Knight. I mean, Warrior's already going to be in 100% double attack. Although I could imagine a trigger where you pop this and you switch into full STP gear for your Warrior. You
Yeah.
drop all the double attack from your
Go
gear,
straight Tanashi
except for
gear
your
for everything.
Sakpatas and Agog legs and stuff for the double attack damage,
Mhm.
and then you just pump STP.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is kind of crazy. The fact that like somebody suggested like, oh, what if it's 100%? And Myth and I were joking. We're like, oh yeah, you just get your 5K gil
Yeah.
and you get your brazen rush.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure,
exactly.
that's
Like,
never
what
gonna
the
happen.
fuck?
And then yeah, apparently it works. And like honestly, like I don't know, there are a lot of fights that are pretty clutch where I would gladly spend 300K gil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
To have a
let's
hundred
right.
preface
percent
this
double
Yeah,
attack.
by
but that
saying we don't know exactly how long the duration is gonna be.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it could be like 10 or 15 seconds. It could be
Yeah.
less than that. Who we have no idea. But if it was like 3 minutes or something, you'd essentially like bring Dark Knight up to a whole other level if you're willing to spend the gil every time you fight something.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
it's
I
interesting.
think this most likely won't be an item that you full time. You're
Mm,
not like popping it
this
on
is a
cooldown
niche
to
set
keep
piece for
100%.
sure.
This is like you're going into a specific fight that has like a burst phase that you have to push through. And, like you need that 100% double attack. It's worth stopping for 5 seconds to
mhm.
cast because it has a 5 second cast time on it. Um, and you just like know that you need to do full damage for 15 seconds or whatever.
Right.
Um, so I don't think it's going to be something you full time all the time, but it is a really kind of interesting concept. And it's a really novelty thing that I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like this in an item before.
No, it's
No.
crazy. I think they're just trying to find ways to get rid of gil at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Just siphon
And
Gil out of it. Yeah.
yeah, and
Apparently, there's an iconic Final Fantasy item that I'm not aware of because I don't play other Final Fantasy games that's
mhm.
very similar.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
guilt like there's items and like ninja, for example, a lot of the ninja classes are thief. Like gil toss has always been a thing in 11, or not in
Mhm.
11, in Final Fantasy in general, where like you would literally you like enter the amount of gil you want to throw at the enemy to do damage. Um,
Yeah.
Yojimbo, the summon in Final Fantasy X, notoriously like used Gil. You paid him. He was like a mercenary
Mhm.
summon, so you would pay him to do certain moves. So this is a concept that's like tied to Final Fantasy lore,
Mm.
in a way, and so I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I also think it's hilarious that, according to Square Enix, Brazen Rush is worth like 100K or however much
Yeah.
that that combs out to be
I
at the
I
end of
mean
the day.
I did like our joke theory that
Yeah.
Myth and I were like kind of riffing on that and be like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna get Brazen Rush. And I was like, well, maybe this is just one of 22 pieces, and they're gonna have one for each every single
One for
job.
every SP.
So
I
that
want
like,
my 100 fist on
yeah.
Econ Warrior.
I know
I'm
we haven't
soul
talked about
enslavement.
all the
If
items
there
yet.
was a soul enslavement,
I know we haven't talked about all the items yet, but I'm pretty sure he did say that there are more that weren't shown.
Yeah, well, there are more, and they shared some more examples of accessories that'll come from
Yes.
a Montrove.
So
They're all
And
pretty
should
they're
cool.
we
all
go ahead
kind of
and pull those
interesting.
up real quick? I have the whole list right
Yeah.
here. Of the ones that were shown.
There was 3
So
more.
there were 3 more.
Just what he was wearing at the time during the stream.
Yeah. So let me make sure that these are showing. Okay, yeah, let's see.
The one in particular is kind of, in my opinion, game breaking and will change how a lot of end game players
Is that the earring?
play. Yes.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive into that. That earring gives you up to plus 30 stats to all
Yeah.
stats
BP
based
all.
on your mastery rank. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
what the actual fuck is
So
that?
if you're mastery 0, it's -30. If you're mastery 1, it's -10. If you're mastery, um, you know,
Oh man, I'm
if you're
mastery
mastery
rank
4, I
5.
think it's 0.
If you're
So
mastery rank
do
what?
we
What were we saying,
Go
Heghmoh?
ahead,
I was gonna
Heghmoh.
say, do we have an idea of what the spread is? Like mastery rank 8, is that gonna be,
30.
capped out? That's 30. And so like
There is
if I'm
nothing higher than mastery
mastery
rank 8 currently.
so if I'm thinking I'm mastery rank 4. I'm halfway there. So did my earring just do 0? Is it
If
that's
you're
like
mastery
a
4, it does
perfect
0.
scale? Okay. Well, that's our
0.
speculation, I assume.
Wow. What? It just does 0. That's crazy.
It's well, given that there's, what, 7 increments of 10, and you can assume that 1 being the worst and then 7 levels above 1,
What?
it
I
just
don't
makes the
know.
most sense. For
I don't
increments of
even
10.
like my brain can't comprehend what you're trying to say right now.
Mathematically,
Um
given the spread, it makes sense for it
Yeah.
to increment in 10s per
What
mastery
if
rank.
it's
okay,
more
sure.
like hold up, but what if it's more like what like mechanic and Kate said,
Mhm.
where it's like if it's if you're master rank 1, it's +7. If you're master rank 2, it's -3. It's just random random based on
I
your
mean,
progression.
I that would be funny. I just doubt it.
If
But
you're 1, 3, or 7, those are prime numbers, or 3 and 7 are prime numbers. So it's like,
let's
Yeah.
assume it's not researched like that, and it's, like, straightforward. If you're mastery rank 8, if it's +30 to all attributes, that is absolutely game breaking.
Mhm. Yeah. That's that's wild.
That's insane. That's like a max cap on crack.
so a 30 plus 30 all stats on a earring. Just so like for the people that are not like maybe aware of how base stats scale with some stuff like weapon skills, like what impact are we talking about that having?
That's
Um,
bigger than like most non-weapon skill damage stat pieces.
that will immediately be the best in slot weapon skill earring for every job for every weapon skill.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
pretty
okay. So
much.
that's crazy. So like you would essentially just be if you had so your master rank 8, it's plus 30 all stats.
Mhm.
You would essentially only like weapon skill and moonshade and moonshade in this earring. Like that would just
Yeah.
become your set.
You thought the alabaster earring was sick shit?
Yeah.
Like, this is some sick shit.
Yeah, why even bother getting the alabaster earring when you can just grind to mastery rank 8 now?
Mm.
I'm just
And
kidding.
the
For
other
I think it's important to point out grinding to mastery rank
It's
8
really,
is
really
really
tedious.
hard. And
because
uh,
it's based on like your records of eminence completed and how many
It's
titles that you have and
it's
stuff like that,
titles
right?
mostly,
yeah.
um, but, like, wholesale achievements like, a Yushatan or, Rima weapons
Yeah.
Mhm.
or playtime. I think, like, 100 days is a certain amount of
Mm.
contribution towards mastery rank.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Is there a menu where you can track that, or is that just
No,
like we just
no.
assume? Okay, cool.
We just we just guess.
There's, you can go on the forums, and players have made speculative, ideas on what contributes to it. Like,
Mhm.
people typically they earn a title they've never gotten and then check, and it's suddenly ticked. It doesn't tell you it's ticked, it just does
Mm.
it.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
I'm
I
max
can't believe they tied
7.
shit to mastery rank.
I
That's
do
Yeah, that's
I
really
do,
interesting.
like, all the neat shit in the game, and I've been playing this game since its inception in, like, 2000 3,
Mhm.
4, and I'm mastery 7.
I
Yeah, I was
think
gonna say,
there's
like, haven't you gone out to, like, to do every Records of Eminence objective?
I'm
You
not
know, like,
done,
that's
but I've done
an
most of them.
objective, yeah.
I'm in, like, the 950s.
no bullshit. I think there's probably less than 20 people that have mastery rank 8. I remember
Since
there was a
someone
big
posted the
thread
forum.
on auction house
Yeah.
forums of trying to figure out how to break it to 8, and I think one person made it during the course of that thread. So
No, it's been more than that.
it's been more than that. Okay.
Yeah, so since that thread came out and people were, like, talking about it,
Hmm.
it kind of, like a lot of people were either not aware of it or just wasn't on their radar,
Okay.
and a lot of people have gone out to do it
Mm.
since.
Hmm.
I think there's probably, like, 50 people in the
Yeah,
game.
that's crazy, man. Jesus, that making me cringe just thinking about it. But
Oh,
anyway,
I
let's
can't
move on to some of
now
the other.
I've been given a new drive to go get 8.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, like, in that sense, like, you think about the, you know, the developers, wanting to encourage people to play the game.
Hmm.
You like, Dex just confirmed that, like, an item like this, in like, more than Vanabout, has inspired Dex to go out and do obscure shit and explore the world and unlock achievements and play as much as possible to get that
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah, but okay, let's ask this though. How many people are gonna be on that dex level of
I mean,
play?
like, when you see, like, when you start seeing this in the all jobs weapon skill sets, like, and, like, people are like, "Oh, like,
Yeah.
how do I get plus 30?" And, like, I guess on the same note, like, it's worth doing the math on
Hmm.
at what point. So say you get up to plus 20 all stats. Does that still beat out,
It
other
does.
options? So it's like you don't even necessarily have to be capped out for it to be worthwhile. There
Yeah.
could be, it
It'll
could be
be
accessible
it'll
to a
be on the
degree.
Level
spreadsheet weapon skills right next to Gazu bracelets.
Yeah.
Um
Oh
And
god.
so, like, when you start seeing it in those lists, people will be like, "Oh, how
right,
do I get that?" And I think
right.
that a lot of people will at least try, like, "Oh, okay, cool. Maybe I can pump my mastery rank up."
See, I'd be willing to try to push to like 7. I don't think I have it in me to ever like push to
But if
mastery rank
7 is
8.
indeed 20 to all, I still think that's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if they did like some really obscure thing, like rank 1 was like 10, or maybe not that high. Rank 1 was like 4, and then rank 2 was like another 4, and then rank 3 was like 7 more, just like a
Mhm.
not even scheme of like how it progresses. But who knows?
The fact that they added this at all is insane. Like, this to me
Yeah.
is crazier than the Gil thing. A lot crazier.
Yeah, I can see that. What else do we have? You know what pisses me off about this list?
Go ahead.
The treasure hunter ring. The
Really?
treasure
Okay.
hunter ring pisses me off, guys.
Why does it piss you off? It's
Because not
super
only does
cool.
it have treasure hunter +2, but
It's
it
treasure
has
hunter property.
treasure hunter effect
Yeah.
plus
What does that even
5%.
mean?
What the
That's
fuck?
property.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's why it pisses me off. Nobody knows how treasure hunter works
Nobody
as it
knows what
is.
Treasure Hunter already does. So getting
Like,
5%
and
more is
now we're
like,
getting more of unknown shit that
yeah.
we don't know how it works, and just like no clarification on anything. That's actually pissing me off. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it. I
Just
this
know that this is the new best in slot.
If anything is gonna make me crash out in this game, it's gonna be like unknown treasure hunter stuff.
Listen here. I love that I now can TH4 all jobs with only accessories: the ammo, the belt,
Hmm.
and the ring. Done.
Yeah.
TH4.
All jobs too. Which is really nice. And I mean, the minus 150 HP, minus 300 MP is kind of funny on this too. But yeah, the treasure hunter effect, that's weird.
Yeah. What did you
So
say it
you're
does,
telling me
Dex?
if I bring a thief and I have this ring on
Hmm.
and I get to TH whatever, like 14 or whatever, it's going to be even more powerful?
It's gonna be 5% better, but we won't tell you
Yeah.
how it's 5% better.
No, it's
You'll just know.
I almost guarantee you it's proc rate. I know it's not clear because it's Square Enix, but
Yeah,
I would
proc rate
assume
would
it's
make
a chance
sense.
to upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't like it. That's I I hate the fact that they're adding in new like weird, obscure stats like that instead of just
Yeah.
doing other like fun things
They
that they
they
can
should have called
do.
it treasure hunter limit.
Treasure Hunter limit
Just
plus 5.
yeah.
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 Yeah, definitely. I like
Funny.
that idea a lot. Um, what about I honestly I haven't even looked at the last one. Is that the neck?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Let's see. What do we have on the neck
It's
here?
not it's the
All
weakest of everything we've seen.
combat
Mhm.
skills, magic skills plus 30 and slow plus 5.
Somebody said
This
it might be skill gain rate and not
I don't think
actual skill, but we're not sure.
skill up rate would be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, but at the same time, like does Matt I know that combat skill and magic skill do affect things like, well, more so magic, but combat skills like directly related to accuracy and stuff. But I can't imagine this would be worth wearing over other options most of the time.
Mhm.
it'll be a macro
Yeah.
swap, and you'll have the negative slow as a detriment for doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's skill gain rate, that'd be cool. Because I feel like if you really tried, especially just for like trying to do combat skills or something like that, you could probably overcome that 5% slow with enough gear.
What's the
But
what's the 30? The 30 is 30% more, or is it like I'll get my dark magic skill plus 30.2?
plus
Oh my
30
god.
skills and
Yeah.
I would imagine it works like the food, right? The skill
Oh,
food.
okay.
Um but that we'd need to have a little bit more information about that.
I
Uh,
can't speak for combat skills, but I think for magic skills, like,
yeah,
plus 30 is pretty potent
mhm,
and would get used,
probably.
for quite a few things.
Yeah, I could see like, your very high end fights when you're worried about like your D int and your all these other crazy, min max on magic. Perhaps that would
I'd
push
say
you
even
into a
more so
different.
for buffs.
I'd be
Oh yeah,
interested
that's true.
to
Enhancing
see
magic and stuff.
like yeah. I don't think it would be as good for offensive magic because the null deck exists. But I don't know.
Mm,
It could be arguably better in certain situations. I'm not really sure.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that
It's just
for
like,
temper 2, somebody said
Mhm.
for
what's the
any of
alternative?
the
Incanter's Torque? That's 10 all, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a big
And
jump.
what's like for singing and stuff, doesn't that aren't those affected by skill as well? Like
Lullaby
I don't know.
is yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
I don't know.
It's hard to justify taking the Moonbow whistle off.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for sure.
But for blue magic, I think this definitely beats the, +2 neck.
Mhm.
Interesting,
+2 neck is
interesting.
only 20 skill.
Yeah.
And this is just 3 of the items. There could be more?
I'm pretty sure he did say there was more.
Mm,
This is
okay.
just what he was wearing during the stream, and the guest checked him, and they talked about it.
Oh,
Nice.
interesting. Well, yeah, we'll know more after tomorrow when the update happens, and we'll leave it to Funk over at PG Wiki
Yeah,
to
please.
pull that info and keep us
Exciting.
in the loop. Yeah, looking forward to
And as Heghmoh teased earlier, don't buy these for 1,000,000,000 gil when they first drop because that's what they end
Yeah,
up going for.
be a little
Yeah.
patient.
Yeah. I don't know. I could see the neck and the earring going for a good chunk of gil,
Yeah. I
especially
mean,
for
I
the
could
first
too.
couple months.
I think
But we'll
all of
see.
it will.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that when Sroda earrings first got dropped, like people were probably
Yeah.
spending millions and now they're like 5K.
Schroeder
Yeah.
Ring
Yeah.
started off at, like, 200 mil and then dropped to,
Yeah.
like, 80 mil on Asura, which
Mhm.
was a little bit less than the Epaminondas ring, and now it's a lot cheaper.
Mhm.
Yep. But yeah,
Give it time.
are you guys ready to move on to the
Yeah.
last section,
Sure.
Oh, yeah, this is cool.
which is Dynamis D is getting a big overhaul.
Before we
Mhm.
move on, do you
Mhm.
wanna, show the models for the Ultima and Omega that they teased?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So in Freshly Picked, there were teased images for Limbus, for Ultima and Omega. And it looks like they're redoing the models. And
They look really crispy.
yeah, they look great. I'm really excited for them. My big point of nervousness is that I hope to God that they're in their own areas and not just like
Yeah,
thrown
Yeah, me too.
not just
into
out.
right. If they do it like they have the NMs that they've already implemented into Limbus, I'm not gonna enjoy that very much
Yeah.
personally.
Ultima looks like brown and gold instead of
He
just
looked
white.
well,
Mhm.
he's fleshy.
Yeah, he's got some
Yeah, like
muscle tone in there.
He
Kind of
looks
looks
pretty
he's
like
cool.
got like
the underside of a crab a little bit.
yeah, it looks like muscle and looks like bone versus
Yeah.
before I kind of like thought it was robotic more so.
Yeah.
No,
But
Omega's got like shiny metal plating.
yeah. Is this like the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, but like is this the first time they've remastered an enemy model? Outside of like when you go through Wings of Goddess, you get the
Yeah,
like
that's the
new
only thing
orcs
that
and
came to
new
my
new
mind
things,
was
but
the
like this is
Wings
the
of the
first time
Goddess.
they've taken a in-game model and updated it.
Uh,
Um,
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there's a lot of examples.
where they've
Uh,
like remastered a
Odyssey is
specific mob.
all of the Knockwolves but black.
Yeah, but that's a recolor. This is like
Okay.
they've remastered to it. I feel like there's
Locust
more.
mobs are remasters where they have like
Hmm,
stripes and stuff.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, but it's like
It's
those
not
are
as
color
iconic.
variations. I guess
Mm-hmm.
this is a color variation. To me, it just like, especially Omega, looks like they like
He looks
improved
upgraded.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks like there's more detail. And that could just be in terms of like how they did it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look like it's just like a repaint.
I
It looks
do
like they've
agree that
improved the model.
this model change looks like a step up from previous model changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they just dumped a bucket of paint on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you think that's what they did? These are no, no, no. Vicious says it looks like they're using the same texture maps as they used on these models in the 14 raid.
That'd be cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like cuz like I do know already that 14 uses like it like Ashen Bubs, who's done a lot of remaster work
Mm-hmm.
for the game and a lot of like contributions to the community and stuff. He's a really cool guy and like he's done like looking at the models. The beetles in 14 are the exact same, like same polygon count. They just
Right.
retexture them.
Mm-hmm.
So they look a little bit more higher quality, but everything is the exact same in terms of their models.
That's
And
interesting.
so I imagine that like Ultima and Omega, they ported them into 14 and then they're reporting the texture maps back, which is kind of cool.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Perhaps.
If that's true, that's really cool. I hope they do that more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I do believe that Fujito said that in the next wave of Limbus updates there will be NMs and there was like a timeline. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh yeah, they said they said I want to say they said Limbus currently is about 40% done.
Yes.
Oh
No,
wow.
there's 40 more percent to do. It's 60% done.
I thought it was the
Okay.
other way around, but maybe you're
Either
right.
either way, there's still sounds like there's still a lot
Yeah.
more to come for
Yes.
Limbus. So that's
I do believe
exciting.
they said that Limbus and maybe also Besieged are receiving their next stage of that percentage to tackle in December.
Hmm. I heard Besiege is getting a pretty large update, but I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
see
you're
any
right.
details anywhere.
The translation that I read was like a little bit, a little bit hard to read. It says you're
Mhm.
correct. It says still 40% of Limbus changes left to implement. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
about 60% of it has been completed, 40% left.
Hmm.
But that's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's not like, I guess, like in that sense, 40%, if we're 60% there,
Hmm.
there's still quite a bit to show. And like, that's not just creating a fight for Ultimate Omega.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say 2 fights isn't gonna be 40% of that. So,
I would
And
assume
I
that's
guess
like
like
what, 10 or 20%.
mhm.
in terms of rewards too, does that mean like we've seen already plus 4 gear for every job and we've seen earrings and rings and capes, so like are we expecting like a full other set of rewards to come through? I would
I
imagine
assume
so.
Ultima and Omega each will
Yeah.
have an armor set, but for
Yeah.
the NMs that aren't Ultima and Omega that they've teased, I hope they have unique rewards. That'd be great.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see some stuff. Even if it was like a couple smaller NMs or like a different system where you could get like I don't know, maybe the body from Ultima or Omega and then the other pieces from like other stuff, that would be cool. Or
I just don't wanna
accessories, I don't know.
RPG everything, please.
Yeah.
Don't make mostly
Um,
dirty everything.
and so the thing that the translation I saw was 40% is left to be implemented.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, the first part of changes will come in December. And are we getting really excited about this? This translation says there's going to be new NMs and new equipment, modified Ultima and Omega, and these are being added to Limbus in December. So are we getting a Limbus update with
Oh
Ultima and Omega
shit.
in
Okay.
like before the end of the year?
Wow.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
That'd be awesome. Well, so when did
I want to like Limbus. I do.
yeah, when did the original Limbus drop? Has it been it's almost been a year now, hasn't it?
No,
Been like
it
eight,
dropped,
7 months, eight
early
months,
summer.
early summer.
Yeah, it was over the
Okay,
summer. It's
maybe it
been
feels
like
longer like that
maybe
because it's
five
such a
months.
fucking grind. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's been 4 or 5 months.
yeah. So if they finish it within a year, I'd be pretty happy with that. Like that's not too bad for having no dev resources or anything. I've been pretty happy with the amount of content we've been getting.
I love to shit on this game because I just want it to be better, and I love this game so much that the fact that some things are frustrating
Hmm.
makes me want it to be better, but I have to concede that, the dev team with the resources they have are doing a good job.
Yeah.
You hear
I
that,
mean,
Vegeta? We don't
absolutely.
hate you.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're welcome to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
anytime.
I
as
just
long as
want
Shiraj
more
isn't
because
here.
I'm
Shiraj
selfish.
might feel, feel differently. Uh, but please ignore his comments about your anyway. The yeah, I mean, like, I think that again, like, I think that being critical of something
Mhm.
is like when Limbus first came out, I gave Myth, for example, a hard time because you were a bit too much of a, Limbus apologist. You were like, no, like give it time. Like, wait. And I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
think it's important to express frustration. If the content's boring, if the content's not rewarding, like let them know because otherwise they're just going to assume they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
I want to
me
Um,
clarify this because we need to hash this out real quick. Um, I was me being an apologist was strictly for the well, first of all, it was the first drop in a game that where we hadn't had content in a long time.
true.
And most of the stuff that I was defending was because people were just shitting all over the gear and that's what
Yeah.
they were like hyper focused on. And
Right.
the gear was not that bad. And I
Right.
still think
And I
people
think
are like overcritical of that part in
that's where I
particular.
100% agree with you because I think I'm not encouraging people to just shit on stuff because they hate the game. You know what I mean? Like that's different.
Hmm.
I think that like you when something comes out, you shouldn't just say it's the best and you can't and it's like there's no point in like you can't be critical of it because that's infallible and everything is good. That's not healthy. And I think that saying everything's terrible is also not healthy. But when you can be constructive in criticism, be like, hey, like this is kind of boring. Maybe if we implemented something like this, it would help. You know, like I think that is a healthy part of the feedback loop to get honest criticism.
Hmm.
having a nuanced approach and, providing avenues for improvement is, like, the best way to describe anything that you don't like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But that being said, Limbus is currently the best content. So,
No, it's not.
uh,
I want it to be.
so anyway, moving on to the worst content, Dynamics Divergence.
Hmm.
It's getting
Uh,
better.
yeah. So this is exciting. New shared areas, for
I
Dyna
did not
D.
expect this wasn't on my bingo card. Some people
No.
said
Yeah,
like,
so
"No
this
way."
actually was like as I was reading through the update list, this was the last thing on the list. The stuff beforehand, I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, that's cool. They're totally redoing Iman Trove. Oh, cool. Vanabout's changing. That's great. Oh, nice. This is a nice little change." This I was like, "What the are you kidding me?" Like this
Yeah.
because they had said they were allowing solo entry and
I
I
just
think,
assumed it meant solo for the
yeah,
regular
I thought
zones.
you could just go in by yourself. But
Mhm.
this is like so many steps further than what I expected.
Really in depth.
And I
This is
think
a lot of work.
it's going to be a good change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to it. So it looks like what's going on is they're creating new areas that are clones of Dynamis Divergence, and they are completely separate from the typical entrance. And you can
Yeah, they have a
enter
separate
these
entrance.
areas as a solo player once a day. Does that sound
So
about right?
it's a little bit more complicated.
Hmm.
Essentially, each Dynamis city for Dyna D is
Hmm.
gonna have a window twice per day on a set schedule that is open world, and you can choose to enter it at that specific start time. If you enter late, they might have killed the second wave boss already.
It's sort of like, almost like domain
Okay.
invasion in that
So
sense, where,
so the
like, there's a
timed stuff that I
rotation, it goes
saw
around the world. Yeah.
is only for the solo area.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, okay. Cool. I
And
misunderstood
so
that
it's
completely
kinda
then.
like domain invasion that it, like, follows it's a route. It just goes around circle. There's always 2 happening concurrently.
Mhm.
They did say it's a 24-hour lockout. So is yeah, you can take on these shared areas once per day.
Yeah.
So does
I
that mean
think
you
it's
could
per
go into
zone.
each one per zone every
I think
day?
you can do all if you decided to do all 4 Dynas the solo player way, the open world way,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you could do all 4 in one day, I
That's
think,
really
based on what they
interesting.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This means
For
getting your job unlocks is super, super.
unlocks, yeah, that's like the thing I'm most excited about. I
Mhm.
Yep,
I have so many jobs that I need to unlock, but I almost always go to Dynamis on the same job because I have to like facilitate doing Dynamis.
Right.
So even as like the person that organizes the link shell Dynamis, I'm excited about this because it means I can unlock my alt jobs. I can finally finish unlocking Puppet Master and shit
Now
like that.
now you can
so
finally play the
essentially
game.
Yeah.
essentially the regular Dynamis is like the link shell chooses the time they wanna go, and they go, and then the new Dynamis is the server acts as a link shell at this time,
Mhm.
and be there or be square.
That's actually really
And yeah,
cool.
so
And you can make
them
parties
not
inside.
yeah,
Correct.
them not sharing a lockout is
Mhm.
really cool because then like you're not picking which one you want to do. You can still go to Link Shell Dynamis, and then you can also still get your solo unlocks.
I'm sure there's gonna
And
be
yeah,
nuance that people have gripes with, like fighting for
mhm,
drop and, uh, someone beelined it to the wave 1 boss, and now
yeah,
there's statues everywhere,
Sure,
but, like,
right.
yeah. I
it's
mean,
gonna be on twice a day, right?
I will definitely be like because they said yes that you can form a party inside. You have to
Mhm.
enter solo, then you form a party inside. So I am definitely the guy that shows up to domain invasion and, mega buff kills it with cap damage weapon skills in
Oh,
30
you're that
seconds.
guy?
Yeah.
We're not friends then.
Um, and so like I will definitely be fighting the urge to like enter Dynamis beeline wave one clear warp out, you know what I mean? Like so I have some questions about how loot's going to work, if there is a wave change and somebody
Yeah,
is soloing the wave one boss,
right.
your mobs despawn and new statues spawn on top of you, like how is all this stuff going to work,
Yeah, that'd be I'll be interested to see how that pans out. Especially the I'm primarily interested in the wave changes and the drops. Like, are people going to be
Mhm.
able to get the money items out of there? I
Yeah.
think it would be helpful. Like, I think new players need more areas that they can just farm Gillen. So I don't think it'd be a
I
bad
see
idea.
no reason why the money drops and the vault would not drop, because it
Mhm.
only goes
Yeah.
up to wave 2.
It only goes up to wave
Yeah,
two.
so
Okay.
yeah, there's no wave 3.
Hmm.
So there's
So
no
the way it works,
astrals.
from what they've said, is there's a timed period
Hmm.
that it's open, um, and the zone closes after that time period or when the wave 2 boss is defeated. So if the
Hmm.
wave 2 boss is defeated by whomever zoned in to help out, then the zone closes, and that's it.
Wow, that's really cool. I'm really
Yeah, I
looking
think it'll
forward
be
to
interesting.
seeing it.
And again, like unlocking jobs got a lot easier.
Mhm.
I think that like for somebody who organizes the link shell run, all the time people are like, "Oh, hey, I wanted to come on Summoner to get my unlock," and we're like,
Well, no,
like,
yeah, yeah,
can you do that solo and then
uh-huh,
like maybe come on Bard?
right.
Um, but yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Like, they did say that the mobs in the shared dynamis will not act like Limbus mobs or anything like that, like they will be solo claimed. So like when you claim a statue, that's your target for your party, not
Mhm.
for the instance. I always assume that's probably again an indication that loot is going to happen, right? Because I think the
Right.
Yeah.
reason we don't get any drops from Limbus NMs and stuff like that is because they're shared. How would you distribute loot to uh, 18 individuals? Um, so that's interesting, but yeah, that's a good question. Like, is the wave 2 boss gonna be a public target or is it gonna be
I think it
a
has.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, if it is a public target, that would kind of preclude Volt from dropping, right?
well, at least the Volt body, I guess.
Yeah.
Red Eyes will still drop volts, but
Yeah. I mean, is there going to be a
Maybe
shared?
the party just claims it, you don't get to fight, sorry, idiot.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there going to be a shared loot pool, like area wide loot pool? Is that how it's going to work? Because
Yeah.
the old original Dynamis was like that, wasn't it?
Oh,
Mm,
was it?
I think
I
so,
don't
because you
remember.
could fit 64 people into it. It
Mm.
definitely wasn't party wide. So
I guess you're right. I just
yeah,
don't remember ever
so
doing that.
I could it could be an area wide loot pool, but we don't really know for sure. Um, So there's a couple of things I vaguely remember hearing about that were in the freshly picked that aren't in the update thread that I have.
Sure.
And oh gosh, I'm trying to remember them.
Mhm.
But I think they were talking about a new party finder system. Do you
Yes,
guys
that's
Yeah.
remember
part of it.
that?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in
So
my
So
link.
there was one slide that had future changes.
mhm.
And there were a few. I'll just to summarize really quick.
They're
I'll
talking
go through
about
the
blue
list, then we
sets,
can
pop attachment
yeah.
sets.
So the ability to save blue magic spell lists so
Mhm.
that you can switch from your AoE to your single target or whatever. Same with attachments for Puppet Master, being able to switch from your tank set or your range damage or your magic set just on the fly. A party assist, a party grouping assist function to be able to find party members.
Mhm.
That's virtual
Um,
party finder, essentially.
Perhaps play online viewer improvements.
That's
That's what
huge.
I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Additional server infrastructure replacements and upgrades, which they did some of that earlier this year. So maybe there's more to
It can
do.
only be good, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And then
The big
preparing
one.
for the capacity to create new areas,
Mhm.
which is crazy. And then there was one more in the list, something about updates to the development environment so that they can like better like basically updating their code base and things like that so that they can
Mhm.
use more modern tools and not rely on antiquated stuff quite as much.
For people who haven't really been, like, attuned to what the devs have said, most of the devs are not equipped or knowledgeable with how the code base of the game works, and therefore cannot make adjustments to the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, we've been hearing for the longest time that like, I think that this has been, not necessarily the case, but for the longest time, it was like they can't make any changes because it's like all the changes have to be done on PS2 dev kits, which
Right.
like you have to like, there's only a limited number of hardware pieces that exist in the world left, and all this limitation. And I think that they've moved on from that, but it's still in like a coding language that's 20 years old. So you have, a very limited number of people that are willing to participate in that.
So what you're telling me is the PS2 limitation meme is going to be dead
Yeah,
once this update comes through.
perhaps,
And
perhaps.
we might even get the Unreal Engine 5 reboot.
Oh my
Is that
god, can you imagine if that's what they're talking about? That they're adding Unreal 5 support?
No, I'm just kidding, but that would be pretty great. Like I think I've said this before, but I never thought 11 needed a graphics update until I saw the
Mhm.
Juno in 14, and I was like, this looks so
Yeah.
good.
Oh shit, that does look pretty awesome. Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
wait a second. Maybe we do
Yeah.
need this.
Man, I see like I don't want if they could just do like texture graphic like redo the graphics engine
Mhm.
to communicate. One, because there's a big problem with Final Fantasy 11, like the DirectX that Final Fantasy 11 speaks in, like literally can't talk to modern GPUs. So generally, 11 runs exclusively on CPU,
Right.
which creates a lot of issues for people. So if they could like fix that, and then also just like do a texture mapping, slow remaster where they're upgrading some of the textures. I don't want any engine changes where like physics change or
Mhm.
how we play the game changes or anything like that. I think that should generally stay the same. But yeah, some cool texture updates and stuff down the line would be cool, but that's probably outside the realm of possibility. But
Yeah. Yeah, I would expect so.
I just wonder if the new areas they're planning to add are, you know, whatever the knife is called, just another
Silver
box,
Knife, yeah.
Silver Knife,
silver
yeah,
knife.
yeah, yeah.
Is it a box
Imagine,
in the wall or is it like something
yeah.
substantial?
Somebody said, imagine a netcode update. Yeah, if there was like less
Ooh.
server delay, than we're used to, and suddenly everything is just twice as accurate. You don't have to chase mobs around trying to get ahead of them because they appear on your screen a few feet behind where they actually are according to the server.
Imagine,
That'd be great.
imagine
Yeah.
auto target being functional.
Oh my God. Um, yeah, so like um new I guess we can just jump around this list. Like new zones
Mhm.
is one thing that's like probably a pretty crazy statement to make. There's
Yeah.
we don't necessarily know. Apparently the term they use in Japanese is how they refer to not instance areas, but like zones, like literal areas that you go to in the game.
Mhm.
So it's not like they're adding, more concurrent dynamic zones for so more people can fit in. It's a new place to go.
Right.
Um, and yeah, it's unclear if that means it's a silver knife, where you get another, 4 walls for
Mhm.
one quest to turn in, or if that means that you get a new zone to run around in that we've never seen before.
Yeah,
My
well,
Um,
understanding was the silver knife was an asset that they had and scrapped and just it was
yeah,
sitting there.
yeah, they
yeah.
recycled exactly.
Mhm. Heghmoh, you had that Reddit post that gained quite a bit of traction, and
Mhm.
if I remember correctly, somebody that translated the Japanese a little bit more clearly than Google Translate did said
Yeah.
that they used the word for small areas, meaning that it wasn't going to be
Uh,
like a big giant area, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be
yeah.
Silver Knife small. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
like a lot of people were saying like it could be
Mhm.
like we could be expecting like a silver knife or like even like a rice and Jima sanctorium or something like that. That's just like a
Yeah.
hub area.
Mhm.
To maybe so like the next HTMB doesn't happen at in Mahura or Selbina or some random place. It has like its own hub. That could be the case. I think that like there's the pipe dream, like the far end of the spectrum where I would love to have the hopium that
Mhm.
this is like, when you talk about improving your code base, preparing to create new areas, upgrading play online,
Expansion.
I'm like, are we talking about a continent? You know what I mean? Like, are we talking, like, are we
Yeah.
talking about an
Yeah, let's go to
expansion
the
or,
let's go to the
Have to
Mithra
be a big
homeland.
one.
yeah,
Let's go to the Mithra homeland or the Gygas
yeah.
homeland. Yeah. But here's a question. This is not necessarily related, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If they added a new expansion, would you want another line of ultimate weapons? I don't think I would at this
Ooh.
point. I don't know if I would want another line of
Yeah, I
ultimate
think that
weapons.
If I
like,
wanted more ultimate weapons, they'd have to be like mythics.
Oh, you mean like design standpoint?
oh,
Yeah.
No,
like,
like,
Or
for very job specific weapons,
mythics are
not
job
not
specific and
weapon
they
specific.
augment what the
Yeah.
job does. They're not
yeah,
just
yeah,
stat
that's what I
predictive
mean by
stuff.
they're designed for the job.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
honestly, yes.
Mhm,
Like I would love to see another line of weapons that are, like if primes are the relics of the current era, it would be
oh
fantastic
no,
to
what if they
see
just
the
work
next
their
set of
way through
weapons.
the mythics of
Yeah,
the current era,
that are the
aeonics
mythics of the
of the
current era.
current
That would
era?
be, and if they're recolors of mythics, whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like
cool with
just
models being recycled. Just
Yeah,
recolor them. That's
yeah,
completely
yeah.
fine.
They're gonna run
Yeah.
out
But
of
I would like to
glows,
see
though.
something that changes the way the jobs play, like, augment the jobs in a unique
Yeah.
way, not
Okay.
just like, "I do
And
more
we finally get the gun that has the third core roll on it. We finally get
The third core.
the Geo Bell
Oh, man.
Rima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. You sure are
I'd
asking
like
for a
that."
lot here.
This is hey, if we're in Wish territory, anything can be asked for.
Yeah.
I just asked if you'd like to see another what line of
Mhm.
I
weapons,
wouldn't mind it.
not that we need to
So,
speculate about. Yeah.
like, this game is all about, like, tracks of progression
Mhm.
and how long they take to do them. So, like, Odyssey was a track to progression, and that track, it was more about the journey, it was fun, in my opinion, to do the
Mhm.
content. Um, Swordy is a track to progression to get the prime weapon, but it's a less so than, Odyssey because it's a lot more waiting to get your weapon, and then when you do get it, it's not much of an upgrade
Yeah.
comparatively.
Right.
Um, if they add new ultimate weapons, I just don't want them to make it like you have to time gate yourself 8 months and this, that, this. Just, like, make it kinda like do the content and you'll get it eventually, and the content's fun.
Mhm.
It's all about what the content is, right?
Yeah.
I think people negatively associate with any one Rima because of the content, not because of the weapon themselves.
Mm, mhm. It would be if I had one wish for like new areas and new content, it would be just releasing all of the stuff that they've have half baked. Like Hades, for instance, is one of them
Mm.
that they put all this work into and then just never did. And then the original town, I can't remember what it was called, but
Oh
we
yeah.
have the videos of it.
Self-Finer
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
So yeah.
That'd be super cool. Just
it got retuned into Selbina, but it was a huge open area with a
It was like
monorail,
a
and
with a
yeah.
train that ran through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how
and,
they say it got
it led
retuned
to
into
the Chocobo
Selbina and it
Forest.
has nothing to do with Selbina.
No, it
Absolutely
doesn't.
nothing. Yeah.
But there was also a separate
Isn't that the
town in
area that the starting, like your character creation is in technically? Is in
it's kind of yeah, I
Symphony?
believe it is. It's a
Mhm.
huge open field.
Yeah.
If that helps them release something because they have the assets for it already, cool.
Yeah, they could just
Yeah.
repurpose that to be the Mithrin hometown, and then that could be the center of their continent.
I
Hell
wouldn't
yeah.
care.
And then
And,
Hades could be the content. That'd be
there's the
great.
Chocobo Forest in there, which is another unused asset.
Mm,
Man, I would kill for a chocobo forest. It's
that's
amazing.
awesome.
I would kill
Imagine
for lots of lovely ladies in a field.
just
Mm.
just get rid of Carpenter's Landing and throw in chocobo forest in there.
Uh,
I,
All the what
you
if it's
know,
the Mithrin homeland, but the Mithra are like they're bad. They're the
yeah.
bad guys, and all
Ooh.
the enemies are Mithra.
Mhm.
And so you just run through, and you're just being like Dynasty Warriors horde of Mithra chasing you
I have a
around.
What I want
funnier
is
alternative reality.
I want us to get there and there only be male Mithras.
I was gonna
Oh
God
yeah,
damn it. I was
but
just
they're
gonna
like
say that.
That way all the
male.
people that are like living their cat girl fantasy just get crushed.
Yeah.
And there's just cat
And male
boys running
Mithra,
Well, from the,
male
Wings of
Mithra,
Goddess story,
they don't use the wings of the goddess model. That they remove that from the mythos, and
Yeah.
oh, they're
all
like
male
Gok like
Mithra
Galka?
are just Galka models with cat ears on them.
I'd be okay with that.
Anyway,
Thin tail.
let's get off this train. Speaking of self-denial, let's get off the train.
Speaking of
Let's go
can we
back
get
to
on the
reality.
monorail?
Is there
Um,
anything that we missed about the update
Yes, there's a
or
bunch.
freshly
party
picked? What
party
else is
party
there?
group assist, the party finder thing
Yeah.
is really interesting. I think there's not much to talk about there, but I do. Shiraj and I got into a fight about this for like an hour and a half in while I was streaming and running sortie at one point,
Mhm.
and he was basically like saying this is they should never do that. It's stupid. It's never, and nothing will ever good will come of it and all this other stuff. And I'm like, Shiraj, stop trolling me. um but I'd be cool to see play online viewer improvements. um who knows what that means? That's something that's both exciting and terrifying to me.
Can they remove it?
um yeah, because that is how we log into the game. If you like, I don't know, no, never, we have to go into that, but
If you're a private
like,
server player and you're
yeah.
not aware?
um
To be
No,
fair,
I
I've
just mean
tried the
like,
private servers, and it's like one click and you're in. That's
yeah.
amazing.
I
Mhm,
mean, I would be happy if even if there was a box that you could tick in your login, like your character profile where Play Online opens,
mhm.
and you log in, you type in your password, and it just skips everything
Straight to
up
the
to the
play button.
client launching.
Oh, yeah, that'd
You
be
know what I
nice.
mean? Like not even
Oh,
to the
even
play
better.
button. Make it the play button. You know, like let me skip like
When I
selecting
click
Final
Yeah,
my
Fantasies to, you
profile,
know, like yeah,
type in the password, then it's automatically black screen, and
to the client. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that'd be awesome.
And if it like all just make it a checkbox. So like if for whatever reason I want to go through those other buttons, I don't know.
You
It's
probably have to
still in
do
there,
content
but
IDs and stuff, right? Oh,
yeah,
no, you can do that online.
you don't do that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
It's all useless.
Yeah.
What if you wanna play Tetramaster?
I don't think that exists anymore.
I don't think it does either.
I
Yeah.
think
I'm
it's
pretty
gone,
sure,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
Check your Play Online mail account. I don't
Mhm.
Someone
know.
mailed me.
They, I'm pretty sure they removed a lot of the mail aspects.
Yeah.
Like,
I
They
think
did.
everything in there is like no longer working anyway.
yeah,
You know,
It's
like
been
doesn't
really
really do
gutted to
anything.
just remove it.
alright,
Yeah.
I agree.
But that would be great. Look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I wanna see how the party finder stuff works. Um,
Hmm.
I I'm hesitant, but I think you know what does give me confidence in it is the way that they're structuring the new Dyna, assuming like what you guys kind of outlined is
Hmm.
correct. It sounds like they do have a good idea of how to like pair people up. So
Yeah.
it's not like they don't understand that you need buffs to do content or whatever it is. I think they have that in mind, and I'm interested to see what system they come up with. If it's
Hmm.
cross server, that would be great, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
That's the one thing I think they will never implement, but
Hmm.
I want the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when they talk about like server upgrades and stuff like that, like maybe there's a very, very small percent chance that like they implement some sort of cross server functionality, but I really doubt it.
Hmm.
Um,
The
that
biggest
would
hope
be
there,
a
right, is
huge
that
substantial change.
they've been focusing on, server-wide, you know, participation type events a lot
Hmm.
in the last couple years.
Hmm.
Limbus is no exception. Odyssey had an element of it. Vanabout has elements of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Speaking of Vanabout, there was things we skipped that I wanted to cover.
Oh, sure. What's that?
If you have anything else you wanna talk about in those additions before I move on, the future plans?
I can't think of anything.
I would
Go
say
ahead.
just to before we skip the future plans, I'd say, like, all the stuff that we've discussed today, the improvements to the performance of the game and the possible additions of things in the future is the most exciting. Like,
Hmm.
getting items and stuff is cool, but I want the game to, like, grow, and hopefully that
Yeah.
is a path that we can be on.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's safe to say that we can go back a week earlier from today when I said that the game is looking good and it's only going to go up from here, and we can all
Yeah.
say Myth was right.
so you're saying
Um,
that you have foresight?
Yeah,
I must, yeah.
you created that.
I
You
I
created this
manifested it into
opportunity.
the
Yeah.
universe, yeah.
They were
So
gonna do a thing where they were like, yeah, sorry, like this is what we shared is the preview. That's the rest of the changes. And like, we just laid off,
yeah.
all of our worldwide
Oh
staff,
my god.
including the Final Fantasy 11, because
I
they did.
think
So
I
Square Enix did
yeah.
global layoffs this week.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, and, the team's done. This is our last message to you guys. And then they watched Blurred podcast and
Yeah.
they were like, you know what? Never mind. Actually, maybe we go plan B and we re-release the stuff instead. And
Well,
so thank you,
actually,
Myth.
I think what happened is they were going to cancel the game after the Limbus negative feedback, and then they saw that I
The
posted that
little
Limbus is great.
shimmer of hope. Yeah.
They're like, "This one guy, he's streaming
Yeah.
and using
Yeah.
Imperator, and he's
Yeah.
really enjoying this
Yeah.
content."
Yeah. And no one
But
will ever tell them
they
that I
went
actually
over
don't like Limbus, but
they have server analytics for like how many times certain weapon skills have been used that they track to get sentiment. And they're
Mhm.
like, wait, the number of imperators that have ever been used have just doubled. Can't keep everything going. Don't stop. Don't hit the cancel button. Yeah.
Oh, Imperator is killing it, man. I'm telling you
And
guys.
I'm telling. I mean,
Too
I'm
strong.
I'm
If I've learned
the
anything,
only
it's that
other Imperator fan out there. You don't have to convince me.
what I've learned from our conversations is that, there is no actual scientific testing, even though we say there's scientific testing. It's just that Myth is clairvoyant, and we,
Yeah.
listen to what he
Yeah.
says, and it
It's
works.
actually supernatural testing is what we do here.
So
Um
get your, imperators going, boys, before it's too late.
All right, what did you want to talk about for
I'm
Vanabout? Let's I'm gonna take these tracks. I'm gonna lift the train up, set them on the right tracks. Fucking get
So
this
then
back.
about, ability to skip objectives, changes,
Yeah.
the objectives that would reset, yada yada. They had mentioned that in the silver tier, I think the best thing in the silver tier before was the 100, what do you call it? I'm blanking. Deeds,
Hmm.
Deeds.
right?
Yeah.
And now we get
Uh,
artifact.
they're adding an AF3
Artifact.
coupon that gives you a full set of AF3 AF
That's
Yeah.
pretty
plus.
nuts.
That is crazy.
That's
Like that
nuts.
Yeah.
alone
That's worth
would
talking
make
about.
me do all old Vanabout.
Yeah.
So if
Like,
Vanabout is improving, and at the same time, like I could get a silver tier and get a full set of artifact plus 3,
exactly.
Hmm.
that's insane. I
So
don't have to
what I
do
was
any
getting
of the
at was, like,
quests.
they're improving the content in that it's
Mhm.
less rigid and more flexible to what you're doing,
Hmm.
and there's the carrot on the stick. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly. I mean, a full set of plus 3 just to go through, like, you're skipping all of the initial quests,
Right.
all the
all
job,
of the reforged to plus 1,
the millions
um,
of gil.
the millions of gil for all those items, the job cards,
Hmm.
like, how many if you're talking about 5 items going
Yes,
through what is that? F 5 steps of reforge? So that's like 20 hours of your life. You know what I
plus
mean?
like
Like
50 mil.
yeah, so that's such a huge reward.
That's an enormous reward. Like,
Yeah,
that cannot be understated. I think if
Right.
you don't have Vanabout on your radar, that is something worth getting. I will not
and
get deeds to get that.
if you're a new player too, like, and like, I would encourage you if you're a new player to go through and do your artifact quests and stuff like that, but, like, maybe you went through and you leveled up on Dancer and you're like, oh, you got to level 99, you're like, "Oh, I wanna try I really wanna play Scholar instead." Like,
Hmm.
being able to just skip all that, is crazy. That's awesome.
That's an incredible item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then the rewards for Vanabout are, 3 months of Cornelia, um,
3 months. There you go, McDougal.
Wow.
125%. We always get all the percents done, so I would be
Mhm.
shocked if we don't. But the 125% they said is Alter Ego Plus, where the egos don't die. And then 150% is Statue Crusher Plus campaign, plus double credit for the defeat 100 enemies requirement for unlocking relic upgrades.
What
It
does
is
that mean?
intended, so my
Oh,
understanding, and I
you
could be
kill
wrong,
50 enemies instead of
you
100.
only have to kill 50, yeah.
Got it.
So this is intended to be timed specifically to make unlocks easy with the new solo divergence.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the new solo divergence launches, and players are now incentivized to go in and just kill 50 enemies to get
Yep.
their unlock.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't
I'm
have to do, like, but Statue Crusher Plus is really
Oh yeah,
nice as
that's
well.
always
Like,
always super valued,
yeah.
Yeah.
especially if now you can literally every day do Dynamis.
Oh yeah.
And Vanabout is gonna be I think they said the 18th to the 1st of December. So
Yes,
starting in, like, a week and a half.
yep, 10 days. So I'm hopeful for this Vanabout this time around. I mean,
Mhm.
I've always griped about it and hated it and reluctantly done it because I'm a completionist. I've gotten the title twice, and I've missed out on the title twice by about 100 points. And for those who don't know, the title is don't miss any single one quest ever.
Hmm.
Damn.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about, whether it's freshly picked
Yep.
or the update?
On the Dynamis, there were some notes that we didn't cover that they were talked about in,
Okay.
um, the translations, like in the actual delivery. Apparently, um, there's a new entrance. The difficulty is the same,
Mhm.
so same 139 mobs.
Mhm.
Um, the basically, like we've said, like the zone is open, and so once it's cleared, it doesn't respawn.
Mhm.
But uh, there are concurrent zones open at the same time. So it says if you check one and it's empty. So I wonder if there'll be a way to like at the entrance say like, oh, how many mobs are remaining or something like that. I don't know,
You
but
could
it
probably
says
just
if you
do
check one,
see all or, like, a
yeah, I
zone
guess so. Yeah,
maybe?
perhaps
It
that too.
but that means it would have a separate zone tag to the
Yeah.
current divergence tag.
But that's
Mhm.
they said expressly that's why they set up 2 concurrent zones. So, like, if you wanna go run Bastock right now and it's already cleared, you
Yeah.
could just go run Windurst or something instead. And then they also said there's a 60-minute time limit from when the entrance opens.
Yeah.
So there's just a 1 hour. Statues don't extend the time at all. And they did say that drops are basically the same. So I guess that means currencies and stuff will continue to drop.
Yeah.
Oh, they confirmed that, nice.
That's what it says. Yeah.
Mhm. Cool. Sounds like,
Um,
a lot of good stuff.
we skimmed over Besieged.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because
They
nobody
said
cares about Besieged.
they
But
said
go
Right.
the
on.
last changes for Besieged are coming in January, bumping it
Oh
to
Oh, yeah,
wow.
I-119.
119. New items to buy with the
Um,
currency, and
yeah,
is
new
there anything
items to
else?
buy with currency, and they lamented that it took longer than it's expected to do it, and
Mhm.
it turned into a good piece of content. I mean, that's a stretch, but I'm excited to see what they add to it.
Yeah.
I think Siege's inherent problem is that it is so seldom occurring, and it's hard to line up with people's schedules when it's random.
Mhm.
I think it should occur more often, not as often as Domain Invasion, but similar, like on a track,
Yeah.
and then people can coordinate their schedules around it and do it and enjoy it.
Yeah. I would like to
But yeah,
see the,
jam-packed full of fucking
I would like to see, like, if you lose Besieged and the Astral Chain Descendants gets stolen, I would like to see that be, like, more interactive and be
well,
rewarding.
apparently they did.
Did they?
It doesn't ever happen, at least on our server,
Right.
but apparently they've added ease of getting keys to, like, save lost NPCs and other
Mhm.
things as part of these updates, and
Mhm.
we just never see it because it doesn't happen.
Mm. Okay.
They
But I
also
mean
added something to do with NM spawning in their strongholds during Besieged or in the prep for Besieged that
Hmm.
is not interacted with at all either.
okay.
I think they
And
should be
then
more transparent with that.
a few there are a few more notes on the future update stuff that I hadn't seen before.
Mhm.
That's actually kind of interesting. So they say changes to play online are specifically a response to technical issues some players are having, such as new players or people loading up play online and things don't render properly, so no
Mm.
words show up and stuff like that. So that's what's
Yeah.
prompting them to update that. So hopefully their solution is to just remove it. uh, the changes to the development tools and the development environment. Again, that is a response to the current dev kits. So, so the stuff that we mentioned earlier are very, very close to end of life. So they need to switch to create new stuff.
Mhm.
They talked about being able to, this is actually interesting, talking about creating new graphics and new gear. So new visuals and stuff like that. That's
That'd be
kind of
interesting.
interesting. They spoke a lot about Maya and Blender, so it's like um, art asset creation tools. So that's another interesting thing.
Mhm.
That's
Um,
exciting.
not just recolors and reskins, but new things. They said this is progressing well, and once it's finished, they'll be able to finalize the blue magic sets and attachment sets. So that's really interesting. They've already replaced most of the servers already. Um, so the server upgrade stuff was actually a recap. It
Mhm.
wasn't that they're doing future server improvements. Um, so they have replaced most of the servers already, and the version update servers are the last ones that they need to replace. So any future server updates are just about how updates are delivered to the game, it seems.
Yeah.
Um, and then after all of that stuff is done and fixed, they're going to make preparations for the creation of new zones, plural. And this was a bullet point that was on the side, and they didn't directly talk about it in any detail. So the new zone stuff they kind of skirted over, and it just saying that it would be something that they would do in the future once all the other back end development stuff is done.
Wow.
That's it.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When we started this episode and we were talking about like the topic and stuff, I didn't realize you guys could talk about this for so long. When uh, I
No,
To be
was,
fair,
that's why
the
that
first
I mean
hour is
I
emails.
yeah,
I knew that this would take forever because
yeah.
like earlier Dex was like, so what do you guys want to talk about today?
Mhm.
Like we could finish up the Unity items, then go into the version update and then talk about the freshly picked. And I was like, whoa, do you guys have 8 hours today? Cause like this is gonna take forever.
Yeah, and even without the Unity items, it's still taking forever.
Yeah.
So good job, guys.
Yeah.
uh, that's all I've got for today. Is there anything else that you boys know about that you wanted to talk about?
I just want to say, everything's hopeful. This
Yeah.
is all like really good information. Um, all of
Mhm.
this information that we've gone over is almost exclusively secondhand outside of the posts that they made,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
really frustrating. I think they really need to just like compile what's happened in the freshly picked for other languages in a
Yeah.
digestible way, because it's really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
frustrating to try to like track down translations and
Mhm.
someone mistranslated it and someone didn't
Right.
do this and
Well, you also like there's so many levels of like I was going and taking screenshots of the slides and sending them to ChatGPT for translation. It would do a really quick translation, but like getting just factually incorrect stuff that was like,
yeah.
Right.
oh,
Right.
you get 100% drop rate on matters now. And we were like,
Yeah.
what? Like, and it was just like they were clarifying
Yeah.
how the system
Yeah.
already works.
I was
Um,
doing a combination of holding my phone up to the speaker and having
yeah.
the text translated, with an app.
Mhm.
So sorry, the words translated, spoken word into text.
Mhm.
Um, and then I would hold whenever they would put a new slide up, I would hold Google Lens over it and see how
Yeah.
what it translated to.
I mean, I do know like in 14 they when they do live letters in the past, like they'll have a translator and it slows it down so much. So I understand why they don't like live translate it because this was already a 3 hour broadcast,
But they
I
always goof
think.
around a little bit, like,
Yeah.
the meat and
Yeah, sure,
potatoes
sure.
is in the middle.
Yeah.
But I do wish they'd at least do what 14 does when they present information in that like the pre-prepared slides are in Japanese with their official translations included. Like that
Yes.
would help.
That's
That
all that
alone
Oh,
would help
yeah.
so
Yeah.
much.
I'm
Yeah.
willing to accept that they could say something really important and I miss it if the slide projects, like, the main information that
Mhm.
I need to know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or they could do after the live closes, a half an hour, 5 hours later, they release an English version that's just the slides with no words,
Mhm.
and anything that they discuss, they added to it.
Yeah. That'd
They
be
That'd be
just need
nice.
nice.
one
We're
bilingual intern
we're
that they
just
throw in a
begging. We're begging over here, Square.
I
We're
just
We
want to
just
tired
know what
of,
you're talking about, like,
yeah.
yeah.
please,
We're
the
we're we're tired of the handouts that we get from Reddit and just begging out in
Well,
the
yeah.
corner, holding our tin out for
What if
coins.
there have been some really and like I do want to like if anybody is listening or watching the podcast that I know there were people in Discord, my person, Hikiri in the Reddit
Mhm.
thread. There are people on the auction house forums that were like translating, going through the whole thing, providing context and all that stuff. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for helping us understand this because like yeah, when we start seeing like we're obviously all very excited to hear as much as we can. So thank you for your time
Mhm.
in translating for us.
Yeah, thanks guys.
I
Um
would say
mhm.
when we get our Patreon going and we start getting money, we can now hire a translator, so maybe you should send some money our way.
Hell yeah.
And when we're happy to be like the official media partner for Final Fantasy 11 as well. If the Square Enix development team wants to just give us the information directly,
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
we'll provide the English
We'll
version.
digest it and
Yeah.
regurgitate it for the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Well,
to
thanks for
brag
Cool.
or
chatting.
anything, but we have done 20 episodes, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're kind of a big deal.
Not only the preeminent podcast, Final Fantasy 11 podcast in 2025, but
Mhm.
also the longest running Final Fantasy 11 podcast in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, the longest running this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the asterisk at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Thanks, guys. Heghmoh, Dex, do you guys have anything you want to plug before the end of the episode? That way I don't get yelled at, even though I'm not going to put your links in the Discord or in the YouTube
Yeah.
Oh,
description.
wow.
Yeah.
You can follow me over at twitch.tv/Heghmoh and
Okay.
at youtube.com/@Heghmoh TV, where we live stream Final Fantasy 11 and other games several days a week.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm there
You
several
can find
times a week too.
me you can find me on an Asura near you. Just wave and say hi.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. That's all I got for today. Thanks everybody for listening, and have a great holiday season as we get ready for
Oh, yeah.
several holidays coming up.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Thanksgiving's
It's
coming
that
up.
time of year.
Hmm.
Hope you had a happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Christmas soon. Better
Mhm,
start
mhm.
shopping, boys.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a Christmas special in December at some point.
Hell yeah.
That'd
And
be fun.
A Christmas
we can all wear
special.
Christmas hats, and we'll get some goobers with Christmas hats going.
What day of the week is Christmas this year? Oh, on
I
a
think
Wasn't it
it's
Saturday?
Thursday.
Thursday, and the only reason I
Yeah.
remember that is because you said that during a stream, and you were talking about
Yeah.
that normally being your day
You're right, it
off.
is Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
well, at least somebody's keeping track of everything.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Hell yeah.
Thanks and bye.
Bye.
Bye.